Okay. Hello? Okay. Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, hearing you. Right. Okay. Just wanted to know whether you wanted Ophelia and me to speak or you were just Ophelia alone.
Yeah, yo, the money merrier, you know. Oh, the money merrier.
Okay.
Yeah.
The more the merrier, you say Ophelia. Okay.
Yeah, and my partner.
Kojak, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Mark was
I'm hearing
asking
you.
if you want both of them together or individual.
Absolutely. We'll both of them together.
All right then. You see? We can see you done.
I
You
know, I
come
know,
up.
I know,
Okay.
I know, I
Right.
know, I know. That's deliberate.
Uh, so how's Dominica, man? How's the weather out there? Only a rain, sunshine?
I think he just got off.
Okay, okay. I check. All right, give me a quick break.
Didn't share with me before.
Are you looking for
You want to just going to come here instead? But
Okay, so one of us have to listen so we can hear him.
So I was asking a while ago, how is the weather in Dominica, man?
Hot, 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 hot.
Sale.
Yeah.
Well, in New York, it's not too bad because once Labor Day done, everything start the little food just creeping slowly, but the kind of nice for now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me see if this should go on you, Mark. Yeah. And the colors scream for life.
Yeah. No, Mr. Mark, you sent me a documentary there on that cannabis thing. That was very interesting, though. You
Like
can
you
hear
can.
me?
Yeah, you sent him a documentary on the cannabis thing and it was very interesting.
oh, okay. Thank you.
Just
That is question. Who are your main listenership audience?
Well,
Dominicans at home and abroad.
Dominicans. Okay.
Yeah.
yeah, diasporans, global,
Yeah,
Okay.
at home and abroad.
home and abroad.
Across the world. Miss Ophelia, good night. Good night. Can
Good
you hear me?
night. I didn't know if I could talk.
Of course. What you mean? We're talking to you.
No, you just come and sit down. You don't say nothing.
No, I'm trying to get everything right, you know? Yes, it
I'm
is.
good. I'm good.
All right, so we got like 2 minutes before we start.
We on the radio yet, no?
Oh, that is true. Almost forgot.
Oh, it's from today. You start in the Kyrie link.
No, next
No,
Saturday
next week.
coming.
Oh, so it's another. Oh, you just have to go on to the radio.
No, he has his own radio station.
So we'll be so your music will be getting a lot of airplay, especially the legends, you, Chobi, Janet, Halibut. Yeah.
Nice.
Yes, man. I'm gonna take full advantage of that platform, you know?
Yes. Thank you for
Yes.
that.
Mm.
Anthony Gussie, you have it, sir?
Yeah, man. I have music I can't done.
Can you hear the music? All right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome again to the program Vibes In. We are live on VTJM Radio. We are live on Donovan Fabian's YouTube channel and also on my Facebook page. Today, September 8th, is 8 p.m., 8:01 p.m. actually. And we are very, very honored indeed to have a very special guest, special guests in our company. Miss Ophelia Oliverche Marie, the lady of song. and her husband, the esteemed music producer, and many more, Mr. Mark Marie. My name is Donovan Fabian, and my co-host is Fitzroy Kojak Augustus. And welcome to Vibes In. Let me say a special good evening to Miss Ophelia. Welcome to our program, and thank you so much for being with us.
Good evening to you as well. I'm very happy to be here, and I keep smiling. I don't know why, but it's a real good vibe. And I want to thank you very much for welcoming me and saying good evening.
Absolutely, we are very honored to have you. I can guarantee that, and we have a lot of fans who are also very happy to see you and to hear you. And I know we can have a very interesting program tonight. Mr. Mark Murray, good evening. Thank you very much for being with us, and welcome to Vibes In.
Yes, well, good evening, and thank you for inviting me on your program there so we can put out some vibes, hopefully some Irie vibes.
It's nothing but airy vibes.
Okay.
And I'll turn over to my co-host, Fitzroy Kojak Augustus, to give his introduction.
Yeah, good evening to each and everyone. I mean, it's been 3 weeks now. We've been underground, but we are back. First, I must say it's a pleasure and an honor to have a person like you, Miss Oliver Olivachi. You have no clue what that means to us on Vibes In, to see that you could take time from your busy schedule to be with us just to vibes, because our whole thing is about giving people like you your flowers before you die. Because too many times, especially in Dominica, we wait until someone pass to honor them. Oh, hopefully it was this and that. But, so that's a part of our mission. And to see someday that a street or something would be named after people like you, Chubby, Halibut, Janet, Azus. And Mr. Murray, I don't know. Again, I'm lost for words. It's an honor to have a person of your caliber on Vibes In. That tells me that we're doing something well. Bye.
Thank you.
Yes. So as you may have known, Vibes In is a very informal program. We just make vibes. We talk. There's no formal interview. But what we try to do, like my cousin said, is to tell your story, to give people the appreciation of what you have done, for music, for Dominica's culture, and just get a little sense of knowing more about Ophelia and about Mark. How about that? Sounds good?
That sounds good. But I put on my pretty earrings and my full.
You always look beautiful from since I was a little boy. Listening to you sing and seeing your pictures. There's one on YouTube right now. Always a very beautiful lady who I always admired.
Thank you very much.
So let's start from the beginning. Tell us where you're from, where were you born, and a little about your upbringing.
Okay, I was born in Curacao. So if you like, I'm not a Dominican. At least
Oh.
I have been told that I have been forgiven for that.
Okay.
And over there, I learned all the languages that pervaded at the time: Papiamento, Dutch, English, Portuguese, Taki-Taki. Whatever was there, I was in it because I was a child. I had the brain like a sponge and I took in everything. And then mommy and them had rules that we had to speak English at home, Papiamento with our friends, Dutch to our teachers. So, we got the melange of languages. That was, like, if you like, the main thing I remember about Curacao. I remember my friends as well, Emista, Marianne. There was a John who lived close by, but I was 9 when I left, so I wasn't interested in any John. And so they brought me to Dominica at age 9. I had already started school in Curacao. We learned about dollars and cents, and we learned Dutch in school. So our parents, I say our because that was my mother, father, and 5 of us. There's Bobby, our only brother, and there is, in fact, his name is Claude. He's a twin to Claudette. And in between there was Rita. So there is Ophelia, Rita, Claude, Claudette, and the last one is Carol. And so there was a nice and busy household, because I think our parents might have taken about 8 years to have 5 of us. Remember, there were twins, and there were Dominicans living around, so we always knew about Dominica and having to go to school in Dominica. That's why they insisted on the English. We had to make sure we spoke English properly. But we learned all the ring games in Papiamento and in Dutch, and it was a delight being able to chat. Daddy was quite a family man. We went to the beach. They have more beach than Dominica had, and we learned clapchi, which is this it's like a, how do they call that? When you have guns and you have toy bullets. You know, so we played with clapchi. We learned pick up jacks. In fact, we call it jacks. And in English, we call it jack. We learned all those things, and we skipped rope whenever we could. We just had fun. So at age 9, they sent me and Rita. Rita was the second, to Dominica with our grandmother and grandfather, and there we started learning English. Well, in school, that is. So I went to St. Luke's School at Point Michel from age 9, and at age 12, I got a scholarship. They were given 5 scholarships to go to secondary school, and I got the 5th one. And they sent me to Convent High School. There I went to 6th form, 1st form, 2nd form, 3rd form, 4th form, 5th form, and 6th form for 2 years. So I had quite an interesting, sheltered life with regard to nuns in Point Michel and nuns at Convent High School. In fact, at one point I wanted to be a nun, but in 6th form, McCarthy Marie came along, and he used to do French in Convent High School, and I used to go to SMA to do mathematics. And he used to carry my book, and I used to tell him I like to hear him read French, and I don't remember what he used to tell me, but we became friends from that time. And afterwards, when he left, he went to study, and I also left, went to study, came back, and we found each other. We got married. We started with our music, and here we are still doing the music.
Awesome. So were your parents Dominican?
Yes, they
What
were.
what part of Dominica?
Mommy was from Point Michel, and Daddy was from Galion in Sucre.
So okay.
Yes, so they knew each other at high school. Daddy went to SMA and Mommy went to Convent High School. But it's in Curacao that they met.
Okay.
And Daddy used to play the piano, the home piano, and he was also a musician in a band. So he would come home and talk, and when we were kids, really small, but he would talk about what he did, what songs he sang. I heard him sing Mario Lanza. I heard him sing Sparrow. They didn't want me to sing Sparrow because they said Sparrow wasn't nice to women. I didn't understand until I was big what they meant. So I sang Mario Lanza. I sang the Negro spirituals that Daddy taught us, and all the good things that we could sing. And that was nice. I also found out a lot about Dominica. They used to tell us not to talk Patois in the house, and Patois was what we call Creole now.
Right.
So we didn't used to talk, but I used to understand and pretended that I didn't, because they always wanted to talk their Patois when they didn't want us to understand. But I used to understand, and I behaved myself, of course, because there are some things children always have to keep from parents. And so I suppose my children did the same. But it at least I liked the thought of Dominica. At age 5, I think I remember coming on a vacation on a boat called the Columbia, because it was boats that used to travel during that time. And I remember coming to Dominica on vacation with my parents. I remember going to Galion, and I liked the fruits. They had hiccup, they had tamarillis, they had mangoes upon mangoes, and I knew all the names: Mangolika, Mangolapo, Ambe, Mango Mang, Mango Guoguo. I wasn't supposed to know the other word, and all kinds of things. And going for mango was a nice thing. You went to mango at about 11 in the morning, and you come back at 12 with your bucket on your head full
Mm-hmm.
mangoes. So I remember that. I remember liking dashing too, because I had an auntie there, Auntie Yuji, and she had given me a piece of dashing. It was blue. In fact, in Trinidad they called it blue food, but I
Okay.
like that food. Yeah.
Okay.
So as I was introduced to ground provisions and pig and saltfish and all those good things early. So Dominica was a good place to think about and to want to go to. And when I came, I was delighted. The other thing I found in Dominica is that children used to talk patois. So I pick up the patois and they couldn't let me throw it down.
Yeah. So yeah, when you came, you said you met Mark, and Mark spoke French. Mark, let me ask you, where are you from originally in Dominica?
Me?
Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
actually, I born in Wesley. So,
You can talk
me,
Kokoi.
yes, ako Milan attack, Milan taka patwa wa mi kom viva Ruzo.
Okay.
Yeah, me go to school convent prep.
Hmm.
Eh.
So Ophelia said
Emily,
very early on you spoke French to her. Where did that French come from?
oh, I learned that in school.
Oh,
We
okay.
did French classes together.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. But I
Okay.
speak French, I would say
Better
quite
than me.
well.
Better than me.
Yeah, I speak, read, write French very well.
Okay.
From long time I like languages, yeah. So
Hmm.
I like French. I didn't
All right.
study Spanish, but I did study Latin.
Hmm.
Most people forget about already.
Yes. Yes.
So, Ophelia, let me ask you. So, while you was in Curacao, the languages you talk about, you speak it fluent.
Yes, Papiamento was perfect because we used to sing in Papiamento when we were playing, skip and so on. So there are still some songs that I know. Mi mama no ting plaka, terra mi de mundo shi, manta mi na ulanda, ora maega Holanda, olotia bate ting ting, baka grita boo boo, pushia grita meow meow, kachoa grita woo woo.
So, was you was saying that in English was?
My mother doesn't have money. She put me in a box. Mandami now sent me to London, not London, Holland. And when I reached in Holland, the clock did ting ting. Olushia bati ting ting. Baka grita, the cow did moo moo. Pushia grita, the cat said meow meow. And the dog said whoa whoa. Not a child song.
Okay.
Already, you said that you were introduced to ground provisions in Dominica. So, what you guys ate in Curacao?
Nazi goreng, which is a kind of um a roll with cabbage with. I didn't know you'd have asked me that. I would have prepared to speak faster. But it's like a
Spring roll.
vegetable, like a spring roll, right?
Okay. I
And
think
that,
the Chinese have something like that. Yeah, call them spring roll. Yeah.
and in Curacao they have all kinds of foods. And then of course children like chicken and chips. and macaroni with all kinds of cheeses and nice things in it. You know, for those, remember we were children, so they fed us like children.
Right.
Yeah.
They used to make pilau sometimes. They used to make soup sometimes. They used to make broth sometimes, and I don't know, saltfish. And I don't know, somebody in the house must have liked saltfish and pig because we used to have that off and on.
Okay.
Yes, but when we came here, we got all the good stuff.
You got the real food.
Yes, you know, and the
Yes, yes,
sea,
yes.
that one, Michelle. So, and the sea was closed, so there was fish. I used to go and fish, stay at the front. You know, I used to have mowing. You know what's mowing?
Oh
Yeah,
yes,
yeah, yeah, man.
yes.
That's
Yes,
snake. Yeah.
we used to cut that and make lac or bait,
Mm-hmm.
and then
Yes,
we
yes.
and throw it out. And then when you feel something, you pull. To me,
Mm-hmm.
at
Yeah.
that time, they used to have more fish than now.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, and we used to roast, we used to do all kinds of things with the fish and birds, little birds, because I
Mm-hmm.
had a brother who had friends. So when they took the birds, we used to roast the birds and eat. Now I wouldn't even do that, but we did that as children, and it used to be a lot of fun. And going for the mangoes and picking guavas, tamarind, we always had fruits.
Yeah.
Oh, when in Curacao, yes, they had even kiwi and the apples and so on, but in Dominica they had the zikat and the bananas, of course, and well, mangoes. I mean, now I cannot eat the mangoes that I used to eat when I was a
Mm-hmm.
child. But
Yeah.
mangoes are dear to me, fruits.
Yeah. So yeah, you said your father played the piano when he was, a musician. So
Yes.
was that's what drawn you to music, and how when did you know you were a good singer?
Um, the first school I went to was preschool, and in Curacao they called it Lushi Kadushi. Lushi class. That was the first class I went.
Mm-hmm.
And we used to have little skits, little songs, and there was a time when they set up a Jesus scene for Christmas. So you had to have three kings, you had to have shepherds, you had to have the little Jesus, you had to have a Mary and a Joseph. And I was a king, and I was bringing a gift. I think I was Melchior, so I was bringing gold, and I had to sing a little song. They chose me because among the children, I was one of the most suitable.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I discovered that I had that ability to be a solo singer. But at home, we always used to be singing with daddy. We didn't
Okay.
have television. You know, the entertainment used to be singing, and he liked Negro spirituals. He liked his Sparrow, which was for himself alone, and he liked Mario Lanza. So we learned Old Black Joe, Swanee River, um, Old Hannah, all kinds of Negro spirituals. So that may also have given me the desire to sing those kinds of songs, those
Mm-hmm.
spirituals, you know, those deep things that touch your heart and give you the good vibes to bring to the radio station on the Monday night. You understand?
Yeah.
Right.
Must have been because that is what they gave us.
Yeah.
Mm.
So, but it is very interesting that you became a great singer, and then you ended up getting married to a great music producer. So let me ask Mr. Mark Marie, when did you start getting into music, and what was your first interest in music?
Ah, well, when I went to the St. Mary's Academy for a period of time, maybe 4 years or a bit more, I lived at the St. Mary's Academy hostel. And um, somebody, a Magloire fellow from Portsmouth, had a guitar at the hostel. So all of us, Gordon Henderson, Desmond Dublin, Gregory Raves, and his brother Sinky and so on, well, we all tried to play guitar with the same instrument.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I kind of get a little bit involved in music. And then at the time, the day off in Roseau was on Thursday. So Thursday afternoons, that's when we had all these shows by the school kids at secondary school at the St. Mary's Academy, St. Gerard's Hall. So there was always a concert there virtually every Thursday afternoon, and fellas like La Rock, I'm trying to remember, they used to be playing bass with the boys and them. Fitzroy will be playing his keyboard and so on, and Ferdinand Frampton, which most people might not remember, because he
Yes.
died a couple of years ago. He used to work on DBS
Yes,
Radio.
of course. Of course.
He was a great soul man, you know. He used to sing with another guy, sort of imitation of Sam and Dave, if you know those two soul guys from the United States. Yeah, so that's where I really kind of get into the music. And then Gordon Henderson and I were like best friends.
Hmm.
So he started to sing calypso as the Mighty Bee in the calypso competition. I don't think there was a junior calypso competition yet, but he sang the Mighty Bee, and we would be sitting there, and we were in the same class together doing English and so on. So we knew how to write poems and that sort of thing. So we would sit there and say we're writing songs and so on there. And he would go on stage and sing. I never went on stage and sang, and I never really learned enough to play an instrument. But I kind of knew, and liked music for sure.
Right.
Yeah, and one song I remember I used to try to play was a song of the Rolling Stones. I can get no satisfaction. And the guitar riff that the guitarist up for the Rolling Stones would play. I love that up till now, So I kind of like rock music in a way. Yeah, I like it.
Okay. All right. So, I mean, Ty, I know with this wealth of knowledge and experience that you have, 2 hours doesn't give us justice, and I have so many questions to ask. And you got, but Ophelia. So let's fast forward a little bit. So, you got interested in music at home, and then so what was your next big step in your opinion, or your first major step into music? What was that? What event was that?
I remember that very well. It was, I used to be, okay, at school we always had music. On Friday afternoons, we used to sing. Everybody used to sing. The teacher would stop everything and would teach you a song or two and what have you. But it was, must have been about 17 when I was a member of the Point Michel Literary Club, the youth literary club at Point Michel. And we used to write songs, plays, poems, because we were children of the high schools and, they used to push us to do those things. So we did that. And then somebody, his name was Lionel Simon. He used to be from Scottsdale. He was a field officer. He used to take care of younger people in the field. So he came to our youth group and asked whether we could do a patois song. In fact, I didn't know it was in patois. The first time when he came to us, he said he wanted us to write a song and to enter a competition for the National Day. So I wrote a song, and I was the one who they used to always ask to write. And it's the words I remember, and I remember the tune too. I'll say it loud, I love you, O Dominica. You have made me glad and taught me to be proud. And when he came to hear this song and I sang it, he said, no, it has to be in patois at the time. Patois, because it's a patois song competition. So I just, you heard what I sang, right?
Right.
or said. When I changed the words and put them in English, in
In
Creole,
patois.
my head. So it comes out, mwen ke hele, ay Dominic, mwen eme. Se ou ki fe mwen, se ou ki fe mwen bel, se ou ki fe mwen bel e riche e fier. Fier is proud.
So hold on, hold on, hold on. That's a song you recorded.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, I know the song. Dominic
That's how,
Okay.
right.
Yes.
And that's how that came. And then I came third. I came third with it. And then I don't even know that Matt knew that stuff. And then I hardly knew him that time. He was in his big class and I was in small class. And then when I came to the following year, they told me, we have to do it again. So I did it and I composed Dominic Kinney Tutsa. That never got recorded, but I came first with that.
Okay.
And we used to go as a group. So I would be singing at the front, two guitarists, somebody on a drum, and the others just singing, backing me up. And then the next time I went up was with I Dominique, and I came first. So that was it. That was what really made me stand out because we always used to be singing in groups at Convent High School and so on. But I stood out there and I remember Alwyn Booley encouraging me and telling me that he wanted me to sing on a stage and saying, what? My little song I want to sing. You don't want to put me on stage. I wasn't interested in that. What I wanted to do was sing my little song with my group. But the second person who said that made me go on stage. This gentleman here.
Okay.
He saw me at one of the no, that wasn't the first time he saw me. We saw it when I sang. Yeah. Okay, the first time he saw me sing, what he should tell you, was
Yes.
at the Terrace Hall. There was a show. Alwyn Bully put up that show, and Alwyn asked me to sing, and I sang "In No Sunshine."
Yeah, you were singing that really. I saw you at the rehearsal
Oh,
with Swinging Stars at the, well, where they basically called the Go Up to at the time. It was the old a club, a men's club, just opposite the St. Mary's Academy Hospital.
oh, okay.
That's where I
Oh, I thought
heard you
because
sing
it
the
said
first time.
Terrace Hall, you had heard me
Right.
sing.
No, it was when you were rehearsing to sing at a show. And
That-
Swinging Stars was the band accompanying
Backing us
the
up.
people for the
Okay.
show. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
so
come
I
to
sang.
meet you there. And the first time I heard you sing, yeah. And it, I was surprised that how well you were singing.
Oh, no, you telling me.
No, he's telling you.
So the whole thing came about, because by then we were at 1976, 1977, thereabout.
77, we got married.
Yeah. So it was just about 76, 77. And by that time, Gordon and Exile One were going full blast in France and so on. And me and Gordon had kept in touch all the time while since we left school, to keep in touch by letter. Imagine that.
Yes.
Letter, put it in the post office. It goes from here to France, takes about a month almost to get there. And he would reply and it would come back and I would reply and so on. So we kept in touch. And I knew he was in the music business and we were always, talking about that and so on. So I said to him in one of my letters there that I met this girl and so on there who seemed to be singing well. What can he do? Because I knew he was making records already, right? What can he do to advance that?
Right.
And then he responded to say, send me a demo tape for me to hear. So I organized to have a demo tape made with some musicians in Dominica here. One of them was Lucien guy, he was the bass player, I remember. Yeah, and a couple other guys. At Radio Jumbo, and if you remember radio station,
Yes.
Yes.
Jumbo.
Yes.
be in the building that subsequently became the Cicero Hotel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's where you so we went down there and we recorded a couple of songs, about four, I think, which I sent to Gordon, and he said, "Ah, yes, that's we will do something about that."
Mm-hmm.
But it didn't happen like right away. It took maybe about a year or so, in which time I was in Barbados teaching at the university. I got married already. And
You said that's so easy. I need to tell you all, he never asked me to marry.
No? So how did it happen?
He told me we are getting married. Like that.
He gave you no choice.
No choice.
uh,
And he wants to marry. No. I have to say, no, no, wait. We have to tell family and them, we have to organize and all that there. And Mark just decided he marry, he married.
Well, Mark knew exactly what he had found, and he wasn't wasting any time. And I can't blame him at all.
right. So eventually, in 1978, January, we traveled to France, Paris, from Barbados to Luxembourg, and then we took the train from Luxembourg down to Paris at the Gare de l'Est, I remember. At the station, we arrived in Paris, Gare de l'Est, where we met Gordon, who was living in the 16e arrondissement, the 16th arrondissement in Paris.
Mhm.
About the best address you can have in Paris for a resident. That's where he lived.
Mhm.
And we recorded the song, the first album. You see this song you played, the I Dominic, that
Yeah.
was recorded on that album. And by the way Ophelia had it wasn't in that style. It was more like a waltz.
Mm.
I Dominic, bum, 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 bum.
Okay.
Ah, please, please, God.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's Gordon who suggested maybe you should change the beat, and he took his guitar and he played da 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 da, and Ophelia sang. I said, okay, right, it's good. And we went to the studio with the guys from Exile One, and we recorded the album.
Yep.
Yeah, Fitzroy wasn't there though, so it's Gordon who's playing the keyboards. All the keyboards on that album is Gordon who's playing that.
Okay.
And then so that's 78 January, and the album came on the market for sale about June, July of that year in Martinique and Guadeloupe, and it just shut up.
So
Yes. Yes. Yes.
when I was
Indeed.
Dominica now, you say Martinique, Guadeloupe. So it wasn't in Dominica?
Yes, afterwards it came.
Or afterwards?
Yeah.
And
So
that's the story of Cadence. And by the way, all of us, we did the Cadence journey and it was outside.
of Dominica.
Afterwards, it came.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
There were records outside like Immigration. That is my kind of stay easy.
Mm-hmm.
It had it on radio until it before it came down.
Yes. Yes. That is a very prevalent story that I've heard from other people,
Yeah.
concerning our music. So, where did you get the name "The Lady of Song"?
It was somebody like you all, somebody on the radio who called me La Grande Dame de la Musique Antilleuse. And that was like all of a sudden, within a year. They said, I can't even talk about myself, but they said they liked my style. I arrived with a husband and a manager. I had a certain authority on the stage, and I was a grande dame, a great lady.
Mm-hmm.
You were well equipped.
Yes, I was a young girl still, but
But
it's the facade.
but there's something beyond the music that made Ophelia have success in Guadeloupe and Martinique and Gordon as well.
Mm-hmm.
That we could all speak French. Because
Mm.
at the time, you were not allowed, there was only one radio station, the government radio station, and Creole was not allowed on the radio. So if you couldn't speak French, you had a difficulty being interviewed.
Right, right.
But
Okay.
both of us could speak French fluently, so there was no difficulty speaking on the radio about any topic, whether politics in Dominica, but at the time Dominica had just become independent and so on.
Mhm.
And all this in Godlo big debate about whether they should become independent too. If Dominica can be, why not us? So there would
Right.
always be these very political questions we had to answer, which we could answer in French. So that kind of placed Ophelia in a category, how to put it, not just as a popular singer, but as I don't know what exactly the word to use, but as a personality, a celebrity who's
Yeah.
not just a popular singer, but somebody who has influence and stuff. And
Mhm.
it occurred to me one of these days there that in the Caribbean, the Ophelia might have been, if not the very first, but one of the very first persons who had a university education and was singing for a living.
Right, right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
So yeah. Just tell us about that, Ophelia. Where, and what did you study? What's your
okay, I
field?
studied in University of the West Indies, Barbados, Cape Hill,
Hmm.
and I did French, English, and sociology. Um, French, because French, I used to get all the prizes in school in French. My mother used to say, I send my child to learn English and it's French. I it just happened. It just came and it stuck. Well, I think because I always had languages, it opened a certain level in my brain that made it easy to absorb the language. So
Hmm.
I did in French, and afterwards I was a teacher of French. I taught English as well. I taught history as well, but French was the one that really took me over to even to university. So I did French and English, of course, because I thought, well, why not English? And then sociology because I was interested in society. I didn't even understand the value of the word. It's when I delved into it I understood that sociology has to do with society, with community, and that has always been me. From
Right.
age 9, I was a legionary and I was a secretary in a group. And then the youth literary club. And then I also became, now the thing with us, okay, there was a time when we started doing music full time for a living, but I always had another job. I was a teacher, I worked in the youth development division, I was deputy director of tourism at one point. I acted as chief cultural officer for a year in Union year. So
Okay.
there was always, something else because I mean I was new, and business was music was very new to Dominica as a job. I mean everybody went out to perform, but we stayed. We used to go out, do our tours, and come
Come
back.
back. Yes.
So during the time when we here, we had to be doing something. So,
Yes.
but I always managed, except maybe in one instance, to be able to go out and perform and come back. And nobody would be vexed because I would not have left my job for too long.
Yeah. But we also would go on tour like for 3 months and things like we would go on tour, stay in France for the whole winter,
Yeah.
Hmm.
then come back to the Caribbean during the summertime when the thing is bubbling up.
Yeah.
So Andophilia, well, I suppose you should. My friend Gordon has a phrase. He says you shouldn't suffer from the imposter syndrome. Meaning to say you shouldn't feel bad about blowing your own trumpet. Okay? But Ophelia was signing records in Roula Martin in Fort-de-France in Martinique at a record shop. Many people might know it called Hits Parade.
Mhm.
It caused a riot in the city
Mm.
that necessitated the intervention of the gendarmes to calm people down.
Wow.
So wherever she played, she played concerts. Like she always played concerts, and even bands like Casa, the guy who started Casa was on there was Ophelia's bass player. You know, and in a way, even the way the Casa musicians present themselves on stage and do on tour, basically Ophelia was doing that.
Right,
Like
right.
Vincent played many concerts with us. He got a Legion d'honneur from the French government 2 years or so ago. Yeah, but he was our Ophelia's opening act. I bring him to Dominica first, and he played with a concert with us at the same Cicero Hotel. Talk about where the Radio Jumbo was. Yeah. So Ophelia, in the French Westings in particular, wasn't in a way a Dominican who came to Guadeloupe to go home. She was like part of the music scene in Guadeloupe, and in point of fact, more in Martinique, because Martinique is a bigger and better music market than Guadeloupe. Yeah, but people in Martinique consume music, you might say, in an unending way, like they can never have enough of it. In a way, I haven't seen anybody else anywhere have that kind of love for music and dancing. Yeah, they will dance at midday in the hot sun. Since the music, since the start of the music, everybody dances. Yeah. So it was a very good market. Still is a good market for music. And Ophelia had a huge impact on the whole music scene there, even including in the English-speaking Caribbean, like in Trinidad and so on. There we play how many times in Trinidad? Play plenty times in Trinidad for all kinds of different things. From BWI anniversary to the Union with Abdullah and song that Mapapupila recorded a song for the Union with David Rudder. Yeah. I can't remember what its title of the song was anyway, but it was a song that the Oilfield Workers Trade Union was wanted recorded to talk about the struggles of the working man in Trinidad.
I have a question and piggyback a little bit. You about your first ever album. I think you told me briefly that your record wasn't Welcome Home because it wasn't played in Dominica first.
Second one.
The second one.
Immigration. Yeah. Second one. We had the live. We had Chanson d'Amour. Then the third one was the live. So it was the fourth album. Yes. When Kyle say, see, I cried like you.
I wrote that song.
Yeah. So what was what seemed to be the issue? Can you tell us about that?
The issue was that the person who did the what I call it, the producer of the record sent it first to Radio and he didn't have it. But when it came to Dominica, the first thing we went was bring it to here. And somebody who is my friend now, he took it and he put it below his seat and said, we're not playing that. Because it went to
Radio Antilles first.
But you see, it's like we lived here, but we did business in Guadeloupe and Martinique. So the records are made in France, the recordings are made sometimes in Guadeloupe, sometimes in Martinique, sometimes in France. So the records are manufactured in France, they come to Guadeloupe, and then from there they get distributed. So, and Radio Antilles had a French program. There was a French Radio Antilles that was broadcasting to Guadeloupe and Martinique. So they had an office in Guadeloupe. So you could just simply hand them a record when it came out of the custom. They sent to Montserrat and they broadcast it there. And by the way, Radio Antilles was owned by the German government. And it seems the German parliamentarians didn't know that they had a radio station in the Caribbean. And when they came to vote for the budget one time, somebody says, oh, we have a radio station in the Caribbean. Why do we have that? And that is how radio TVs came to a halt. Newman government said at the time that, well, they had no interest in having a radio station in the Caribbean.
But Mark, I'm just thinking it might have been about the idol thing, that Kojak was referring.
Yeah,
Oh,
because that don't make no sense to me. I mean, if you release an album or they come home, that's
Yeah, well,
that's
okay.
ignorance, though.
Yeah, because I did answer you because that was the one in my mind. But for I Dominic was Bandu.
Ban yourself.
That was the first album,
Wow.
but it wasn't banned as a record. It was banned as a song because I won with I Dominic, but I don't even know.
Well, you see, the thing is, some people like to think that if you're singing about Dominica, you have to say
Happy.
everything is great, the sun is shining when rain falling, and so on and so forth. If you don't see that, you're somehow unpatriotic.
Yeah, and that's what they said. The song was not patriotic. And I told them, look, I'm a Dominican, although I was born in Curacao, and I was in Cave Hill when I performed, when I wrote that song. And while I was writing, I was crying. There were tears on the paper because when we were over there, we were hearing things in Dominica, how people fighting, how students and how nurses were on strike, or, and the people in Barbados were saying things about Dominicans. How could Dominicans allow that? That's nonsense. And that is my country they're talking about there. I had pain like everything, and so I had to express it through song, and then when I won with it, because I sang it in 75 as the competing song, and it won. And there were other things happening too. There were socio-political problems. There was all kind of stories, and some people felt that it was not appropriate. But up to now, I don't know, it still holds.
So what competition was that, though?
That was the Password Song competition, and it used to take place in October, November, just before independence.
Yeah, they still have it.
They still have it. They
Okay.
still have a competition.
Okay.
And
So,
there's an interesting thing there. Dominica is the only island in the Caribbean that could have a whole Creole music festival. If I explain that. Dominica is the only island where all classes in Dominica think Dominica's culture is great. In Jamaica, they would have never done a reggae festival. And the reggae some fest or whatever it was
Sunsplash.
Well, the name is changing.
was not done by Jamaican. It was an event done by American, a private event. And they will naturally have to have some place to do it. And the people will say, well, best place to do it is the place it came from. Therefore, they put it on in Jamaica. And it wasn't really supported to start with by the tourist board or any of these people. Because the way Jamaican society is, there's a big rift between the different groups and classes. But the people who do reggae are the people at the bottom of the social ladder.
Right.
The people higher up don't hear nothing about that. Similar thing with Trinidad. In Trinidad, we love Trinidad, Calypso, and so on and so forth. But in Trinidad itself, people who run things didn't think much of Calypso. They used to have signs by nightclubs and saying, dogs and Calypsonians not allowed. Yes. Yeah. And not so long ago, maybe 10 or so years ago, Daryl Bob, King Bob, and I went to Trinidad on some music business. From the airport at Piarco to the hotel, took about maybe 45 minutes or a little bit more. I asked the taxi driver to find a radio station that played Trinidad music for us. He had 36 radio stations in Trinidad. He reached the hotel and he couldn't find a radio station playing a Trinidad song. It wasn't around carnival time. It was around carnival time. You'd have had some soca and so on played.
So what music they play during that time though?
Yes, they played it during the carnival time.
Yeah. And the difference with the Dominica is that, and if you know Mabel C.C. Cordero, maybe you don't know, but you might have
We heard of course.
Well, in the context of the Caribbean and Dominica, she was of the upper class, right? But you know some of her songs, she was the one who was saying Dominican music and culture and so on is great, would want to duet and so on, and getting her, you might say, her class, the people in the same class as her, to participate in it. And the competition who Phil was telling you about there, that was started by the government. And the person who was in charge of the government at the time was Edward LeBlanc from Metal. So he said that the people culture in the countryside must come to town. So that's how so if you like the town bookie and the country bookie all agreed that Dominica thing, the thing we do is great and is worthwhile, which is why it's not by accident that Booyah is ruling the Caribbean there now. Because Dominica is the place where people who do Dominican music are thought of well in Dominica itself. Yeah. But none of the other islands have that. Unfortunately.
You mean up until today? You think it's the same thing?
Yeah,
Yes,
sure,
it's the
sure,
same
sure.
thing.
There's a guy I know in Jamaica, a lawyer, who, into trying to promote reggae and so on. He and some other guys decided commercial radio stations not playing reggae. So they decided to set up a radio station to play reggae. Okay? But they started off playing reggae only. And the year or two, they had to modify their programming because advertisers didn't follow. Because the people the advertisers want to get as their audience
We're not
who were not
interested.
interested in listening to reggae, according to the advertisers. Therefore, they have to modify their programming to play some reggae, but mostly on the American music. That's what they used to play more. And a funny thing, a couple of years ago, maybe I don't know how many years ago, this guy makes a record and he tries to get it played on the radio, and the radio station isn't playing it. The guy climbed up the radio station tower and threatens to kill himself to play his song on the radio.
Where that?
Quite serious.
Yeah. Where?
In Jamaica.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I didn't have to do
So
that, right?
so Mark, so that situation exists today, what you're describing now. Do you think that existed with Kara's music back in Dominica? The same the same situation where people really didn't appreciate Kara's in Dominica as did the outside world? I mean, the French islands?
Yes. Except that things move along. In other words, our generation, if you like, Upil and me and Gordon and John generation, came up with Kadas. Okay? And now another generation has come up with another variation, if you like, of Kadas, which they call Bouillon. And Bouillon himself recorded a lot of them. Bouillon, me that start to record most of them Bouillon, in fact. WWCK's album, I recorded it.
Yeah.
It was album, I recorded RSP, all these people. I recorded them. And what is really responsible for the Bouillon really is actually the change in technology. Because the Bouillon depended very heavily on a drum machine. So without the drum machine, the Bouillon would not be, well, as it is now. Let's put it this way. It might still have existed, but it wouldn't be like you're hearing it now. The drum machine that became the dominant force in creating Bouillon.
Mm.
Mm. And Dominica, for a long while, the new music, new styles, new things in music comes from Dominica. The soca business that come from Dominica.
Okay.
Yeah, you remember?
Sure.
Audrey, where you get the sugar?
Yeah.
Remember how it was played? That's probably the most popular soca song out of Trinidad. Well, what Marcel Montano is playing now, which is still called soca, and what Kitchener was playing, or do you get that boom boom and thing there? So
Where you get that sugar?
they get that sugar, right?
Sugar boom, sugar boom.
Um, the music quite different.
Yes.
Yes, and it's WCK's Balance Party that was popular in Trinidad
At the
that
time.
kicked off the thing to make this new version of soca.
Soca. Yes.
Yeah, I was in Trinidad 1992.
Yeah,
Well,
but that's why the
I
Trinidadians and them saying that bouillon is soca. So that's why they're saying that.
well,
Because
so
Cornell
I
had to come on the radio station
well,
and
what they
explain to
play
them.
on soca there is real.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but
I calling it cadence.
right, but everybody has his flavor he add into it. So
Right.
there's like a Trinidadian flavor to the bouillon, that which will be somehow a little bit different from the Dominica bouillon. Just like we
Saint
make
Lucia.
in Dominica, we make roti, but a Dominica roti doesn't really taste like a Trinidad roti, but it's roti still.
Right.
So there is so we can't go and claim we invent any kind of dish. You have to say that's a Trinidadian and Guyanese dish. Indian people, from those places make roti. That is their dish. But we make roti too.
Yeah.
And our roti have its own flavor.
Yes. 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 Indeed. So,
Like in Trinidad, the roti, they often put yellow split peas in
yeah.
the dough. Yeah,
Yes.
but
Yes.
it's paratha.
Yeah.
In Dominica, we don't do that.
Yes.
We simply use the dough and then we put
And
the curried meat and thing in it and so on, and we done with
and the
that.
and the dough is kind of different.
Yeah,
It's yeah.
right. So there's little differences in it.
Yes.
It's the same thing like the bouillon from Dominica and the bouillon from Trinidad. It's basically the same thing, but the Trinidadians add a little more pepper or a little less pepper or here and there or whatever, so that you can hear a little difference between Trinidadian and a Dominican singing bouillon.
Yeah. So, Miss Ophelia,
Yeah.
you have a number of albums and a number of beautiful songs. Now, to me, your songs are very soulful. You know, added to the fact that you sing, your voice is very beautiful, but your music is very soulful. It's a music that makes you feel. I remember as a kid listening to your songs and making me feel like almost want to cry. Honestly, it's very very soulful.
They
So
say I cry too much. Somebody says it like that. But
so where does that emotion come from in your music?
it's home, it's family life, especially the family I was born into. We were very close. And as I mentioned earlier, we used to sing Negro spirituals. We used to sing the songs that were warm and tender. And I'm singing Mia. I like people. I like to do things with people and for people. I'm a trained social worker, even apart from the French, English, and sociology. So it will come in myself. And I am a person that believes in God. I believe He has done a lot of things in my life. He gave me that voice that I have. I mean, Daddy is the one who has the voice, but at least I have the lady aspect of it. And I give myself when I'm on the stage. I don't try to be two different people. I don't have time for that.
Right.
You get me. So if I don't go to a dance with half of my body out, I will not go on the stage with half of my body out.
Right.
I remain the person that I have to be. So I think you getting what's in my belly.
So let me ask you, so is there, while growing up, is there any artists, you were like, what was that even about?
Emulate. You looked up to.
Yes.
Yes, Miriam Makeba.
Who is?
African Miriam Makeba. She must be too old for all you to remember.
Yeah, I don't know that one.
Who's that?
But she used
Yeah.
to sing, I shall sing my song.
Oh, I know that song.
La 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 la. That
Mhm.
lady. She used to she was married to Stokely Carmichael, who was a black power man in America.
Yes, yes.
And who influenced all of us. Well, our age or the young. And I wanted to be like her, and she liked her country. You see, nothing is an accident there. She liked her country. She cried. They exiled her. They didn't exile me, but she had similar experiences, feelings as I had. So, in fact, I have been called so la Miriam Makeba de la Caraïbe. But it's only French people give me those things, eh?
Yeah.
The Daily of Song was a translation of the La Grande Dame de la Musique Française. So the first award I got was in Paris. Not my fault. I was there, but Paris called me before Dominica called me.
So all right. So let me ask you, seeing that you were born in Kuros, so did you get any like a hard time in Dominica, like in terms of like as a citizen, did you get any hard times?
Hey. Just recently I had to apply for citizenship. Oh, you know that.
No, but you say you're from Kuros, so
Yeah, I had to apply for citizenship. Well, Mark, is that you saying? But they were telling me I'm not maybe I'm a Dominican, but I have to bring the paper. I had to go and get a paper.
you had to pay?
Yes, I had to pay.
May mind if I ask how much?
Pardon?
You mind if I ask you how much? You don't have to answer if you don't want to.
I'm going to ask him because I don't know.
You don't know.
I don't know.
Hold on. I'll call you back.
It is.
Mark,
Wow.
how much?
So what I thought after
Kojak, it's 9 o'clock. We got to play the ads.
Yes. Let's take
Yes.
a break with
We-
some sponsors.
$100,000 US, but
We're gonna take a short break. Mark and Ophelia, we're gonna run a couple ads, and we'll be right back. Okay.
Yes.
So just give us a few minutes, folks. We are taking a very short break, talking to Mark and Ophelia Marie, and we will be right back in a few minutes. This is Vibes In on a Monday night.
How much you paid?
Ready to turn up your Saturday nights? Then lock in to Mix Up Vibes and Rhythms, only on Kyrie FM, the genuine sound of Dominica. From 6 to 8 p.m., join your host, the one and only DJ Kojak, aka DJ Classic, bringing you the hottest hits, the sweetest rhythms, and the mix that keeps you moving. Saturday evenings will never be the same, so grab your crew, turn up the volume, and vibe with DJ Kojak, aka DJ Classic. Mix up vibes and rhythms. Every Saturday, 6 to 8 p.m. with DJ Kojak, aka DJ Classic. Only on Kyrie FM, the genuine sound of Dominica.
yeah. So just say like pay about
Tired of searching for the perfect hands to bless your locks? Look no further. Step into the world of the Lock God Salon, where artistry meets authenticity. Whether you're starting your lock journey or looking for a fresh retwist, maintenance, or styling, the Lock God is your go-to destination for luxury lock care. With 3 convenient locations, your crown is always close by. Harlem Flagship, 183rd Lenox Avenue at 119th Street in Manhattan, New York. Edgewater, New Jersey, 473 River Road, Suite 183. Brooklyn, 2230 Church Avenue, Suites 111 to 113 near Flatbush Avenue. Our skilled stylists deliver precision, passion, and unmatched results every time. Locks are more than just a style. They're a lifestyle. And at the Lock God Salon, we treat them like royalty. Book your appointment now at www.thelockgodsalon.com and purchase your products at www.shopniathelockgod.com or call us at 917-693-1019. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Nia the Lock God Products for the latest styles, tips, products, and transformations. The Lock God Salon, where your locks are legendary. Are you looking for a way? Are you looking for a way to grow your business, expand your reach, or promote an upcoming event? Look no further than VTJM Radio. We offer customized advertising solutions tailored to your needs. Whether you're a small business or an established brand, our internet radio station provides the perfect platform to connect with your audience. With affordable rates and a wide range of listeners, VTJM Radio is your go-to partner for effective advertising. Get your message heard today. Call 718-307-8644 for more information. That's 718-307-8644. Let VTJM Radio help you make an impact. Need to ship barrels, boxes, or cargo to the Caribbean? Choose Easy Barrel, the fast, reliable, and trusted shipping solution for your family and business. With weekly shipments from New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, and Massachusetts, Easy Barrel makes shipping to the Caribbean easy. They'll come straight to your door to pick up your cargo. And yes, they're always on time. That's the Easy Barrel promise. Email us at info@easybarrel.com or visit our website at easybarrel.com or call 718-693-7447 today to schedule your pickup. Find them in Jamaica, Queens at 9129 143rd Street or in Mount Vernon at 287 East 3rd Street. Trust Easy Barrel, your dependable partner for shipping to the Caribbean. Easy Barrel, shipping made easy.
All right, we are back. Thank you for holding on. We are back. It's 10 minutes going down past 9 o'clock on a Monday, the 8th of September, 2025. And we're talking to the lovely Ophelia Oliver J. Murray and her husband, Mark Murray. Well, right back, Mark, before I go back to Ophelia, you have been one of the most prominent music producers and operator of a recording studio in Dominica. So let us tell us how you got started into the recording business.
Well, I got started in the recording business by writing a song. It was recorded on Ophelia's very first album. It's called Red Light Lady.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And how did I get involved in recording? Well, after the hurricane David in 1979.
Mm-hmm.
Gordon was the manager of DBS Radio, and Carnival of 1980 was coming up. So we did have Carnival in 1980, right? Hurricane on the hurricane, can't stop the carnival. So we did have Carnival. So I was talking with Gordon about, well, what we could do, to keep this spirit alive. I had this nice fancy console made by Soundcraft, a British company, with a snake and all of that and microphones. And the radio station had the Revox machines
Mm-hmm.
for the tape, if people remember that. So I said, okay, I will go out and record some steel band. And I went and recorded the Chocolate County Steel Band. And I brought it, to the radio station where Gordon had it played on the radio to liven up the carnival thing. So after that, I started making more recordings. And I eventually teamed up with a guy called Radigan. Lennox Roy was his proper name. He subsequently emigrated to the US and he's since crossed over the river. And we recorded the Eurodel Jinping Band. Yes, at the behest of Mr. Gary Ed, who put the idea in our head, by the way. And the Eurodel Jinping Band became the most popular band in Dominica for at least 18 months. We actually took them on tour with us to Ophelia, to Trinidad. Yeah, where they played at the Normandy Hotel, which is a kind of upscale place where we were playing. Yeah, so and they were very popular. The band was super popular in Dominica. So that kind of raised my profile as a guy who makes recordings. But before I did the Girodel Jinping Band, the carnival of that year, I can't remember which year exactly, I recorded the first Calypso cassette that was recorded and put on sale. Me and Radigan, with Swinging Stars doing playing.
Mm-hmm.
We recorded them direct to two track. We didn't have multi-track recording where the bass player play by himself, etc. Everybody plays the band there. You balance it up, you listen to it, and you record one time. And if it's good, when you listen back, okay, that's it. You can go home. And that on that cassette, that is where NC's song about humble servant was recorded, and it was the most popular song on the cassette.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that gave a bit of, you might say, profile. Yeah. Then I decided, well, maybe I should expand a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
So I bought an 8-track machine so I could do an 8-track recording and a Revox quarter-inch tape to do recording. At the time, Ken Robinson had also just set up a recording studio up at his home. So there were the two of us who had recording studios. So I would record some people, he would record others, and so on. And interestingly enough, when they didn't pay me, the next time they would go by Ken. Yeah, and when they didn't pay Ken, they'd come back by me. We stayed in it recording there. So I recorded a number of people. Like WCK's first album, I recorded that. Mopsy One Mosway. And I got it distributed actually in Germany.
Mm.
And for reasons we did not get into there, they didn't really follow up on that because the door was kind of open for them to step through, but they didn't step in. They didn't do the right thing, so that they didn't go further with that. But I did do that for them. And first Serenade, of course, we're living in Point Michelle. That's where I live. So when they started doing their thing and so on, they hung out by me and so on. So we recorded the song. I think the first song that we recorded was, I'm trying to remember what the song was, but it was popular. Yeah, it was quite popular. And at that time, there were not many bands playing. So you depended on the DJs and the song system, of which Wadi Koli was the most
Popular one.
They would
Yes.
go around playing all over Dominica, and that's Leroy Waddick's
Oh yeah,
jam,
Alex. Yes.
and another guy. That
Ole,
Don
Ole,
Donny Ole Ole. Yeah.
right,
Ole.
Ole, Donny.
right,
Yeah.
right, right. So,
Yeah.
that's how I kind of get going in that, and I made all the recordings. Like one of those notable ones I did was for Super L, Levi Low Black.
Yeah.
Body slam.
Yeah, right.
Body
About the
slam,
good citizen.
Good citizen. Good
Enjoy
citizen.
a good citizen and so on.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So I recorded a lot of those songs. Yeah. Then I recorded some things for Ophelia as well, some of our albums. Yeah. That's how I get involved with it. And then more importantly, I got involved in the whole copyright management business.
Yes. Before we go, I have to ask you about that. That's a very important part of all it all, because there's been a lot of controversy lately. But yeah, I'll ask you about it before we end the program.
Right.
Yes.
That's how I got into the recording business. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I think we should touch on because your time runs fast. We've now that Creole Festival is here.
Mm-hmm.
It's 25 years now. So hopefully, were you on the first ever World Creole Music Festival?
Yes, I was.
It was, yes.
And I was looking forward to it. Because it's our thing, and to me, Dominica was becoming a kind of capital of the Creole world. And we were playing our music with our musicians, with our outfits, our dancers, and it really felt good. I think I performed because it's Sunday.
Sunday.
It's Sunday.
Yeah.
Sunday. And Mac will tell you that the first night
Was a failure.
financially, because people,
Didn't know what was going to take
Dominicans
place.
like to watch and see before they go in.
Yeah, and foreigners too. Yeah.
It's 25. It's 25 years for
Yes,
festival.
25 years. Yes.
Yeah. But they have not 25. They have not 25
Well, because
events because I think we missed two.
Okay.
2015, and
The
I think there
COVID.
was one COVID year we didn't have any
Okay. So it actually started in 1998.
1997.
7. Okay, 97. Okay, that's
But
right.
the planning actually started about July, August 1995.
95. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I was, in fact, the first person outside of the boardroom of the NDC to know that such a thing was going to happen.
Mm.
Because by accident, I happened to be at the NDC when the chairman of the board, who was O.J. Seraphine, steps out to go to the washroom. It was across the corridor from where I was standing. And he says to me, "The festival is on. Georges will get in touch with you." I didn't quite know what he was talking about. So he said this, "The festival is on. The Kadas festival is on." And then he went into the bathroom. Okay? And subsequently, 4 of us had a meeting. It was myself, Subas Esprit, who had been working at the NDC, Mr. Georges, who was the acting general manager at the time, and Fred Nicholas. The 4 of us had the very first meeting to talk about organizing a Kadas festival.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I remember we just put some numbers together, somewhat arbitrarily, so that Mr. Georges could go back to the board and say, "Okay, this is what he thinks it will cost to do the event." And I remember we came up with something like $250,000. And Mr. Georges held his head. That's the acting. He said, "How he's going to go back and tell the board that he must find $250,000 for a festival?" Anyway, we tell him, especially Freddie and I had some experience with that, well, that's not expensive for what we want to do. Of course, we could do a thing for $10,000 if we wanted, but it wouldn't match up to what he's telling us he wants to have.
Right.
You have to have that is kind of money as well. For example, you'd have to bring a sound system from abroad. Okay, the transportation of the sound system to Dominica plus pay them, house them, etc. is going to cost a certain amount. I just think from just taking the few little things that are around Dominica that you could put that on, but it wouldn't have the same impact as bringing people from abroad with a more sophisticated professional system.
Right.
So anyway, so he did go back and the board said, okay, let's go forward. And we went forward and we took about 2 years to plan that. And the first one came up in 1997. And in point of fact, we were discussing for a long time having a Kadas festival. Then I said in one of the meeting there that I don't think having a Kadas festival is a great idea because the Kadas is a name, it's popular now, but already Exile One had stopped playing. The grabback were kind of a little bit shaky, play now and then. And most of the Dominican bands that had been part of the Kadas wave had already disbanded. So Midnight Groovers was still going strong, Ophelia was going strong, and two other fellas were trying to hang on. So Zouk at the time was quite popular. So somebody said, well, let's have a Zouk stroke Kadas festival. So for a number of meetings, we spoke about a Zouk Kadas festival. Then after that, I said the same thing. I said, a Zouk is a Martinican event. Okay, people in Guadeloupe don't make Zouk. It's a party. And the guys who were known for Zouk didn't give their music any name. It's a radio station DJ in Martinique who called it Zouk because the Zouk, the event, was quite popular at the time Cassa's records hit the market. So they were playing a lot in the Zouks. So the guy called the music Zouk. And the name caught on and it became Zouk. Anyway, so in the discussions there, I said maybe we should have a name that has more permanent, that it's not a marketing thing that after styles change, your name becomes a kind of irrelevant. I said, let's have a Creole music festival. What do you guys think of that? And then Michael Fagan, who was at the time the manager of the Kubuli Beer Factory, said, and he was on the part of the committee, he said, well, that's why World Creole Music Festival. So we said, yeah, man, that's the name, okay? So for the next year, we planned the World Creole Music Festival. And then we had Eddie Tula was then hired when we got like 6 months or 9 months away from the event itself. Because by that time we figured volunteers in the afternoon come and talk and so on there. Wouldn't be able to pull that off. We needed people like working full time, 8 to 4, 8 to 5, or 8 to 12, as the case might be, to do that. And then Eddie Tula was then hired to take day-to-day management of the thing with a secretary, Miss Ely was her name, right? Yeah. So then we then decided, well, what time is the best time to have it? We started in January. We said, well, January, we just had Carnival in Dominica, or Carnival is coming up in Dominica, whether it's February or March. But after, okay, and January, of course, is after Christmas and New Year's, and everybody spend their money and they want to recover a bit for Carnival, and Trinidad also has Carnival. So we said, okay, that period there is not favorable. This brings us into April, May, which is around Easter time. But Easter is already a popular time for people to visit Dominica, the Easter weekend. So there's no point putting another event that will bring maybe 10 more people than would have come for the Easter anyway. But then we went into May, then Sentosa had their jazz thing. By the time we do next stock, we're in July. That means rain starts falling because it's an outdoor thing we're going to do. So there is a little risk there, on top of which the Dominican bands themselves start to go up to North America and so on.
Yes.
These events in the summertime. And then by the time the summertime is over, it's September, it's back to school. So we can't do it in September because it's also raining and so on, which brings us up to October. And I can't remember who said, October is the right time, man, end of October. And then we look around what's happening elsewhere in the Caribbean and see there's nothing really happening. And the October is International Creole Month.
Oh, wow.
And two, the last Friday in October is International Creole Day. Okay, so we said, right, that's everything fits into place.
Yeah.
That's the weekend to have it, the last Friday in October. So that's how we narrow it down there because it fitted in with all the Creole everything. So that's also we planned and had executed the first one on 1997. And the first band on stage was RSB. Go down in history to play the first note in the World Creole Music Festival. Yeah.
Yep. I remember that.
So my question, Ophelia, let's say 25 years. So were you on there every year?
No.
So how many?
The
All
last
right.
6
So
years.
how many years you did in a row before you stopped?
How many times did you roll? The second.
Like how many years? First, second, third year. How many years you were on there for?
The second festival I wasn't on.
Second?
Right, but I did the promotion.
Okay, that must have played about 4 or 5 times at most.
Yes.
So how was the last time you were on there?
6 years ago.
Why so long?
You asking me?
2019.
You're gonna be on this year, right?
Yes.
6 years, is it?
Well, there was the COVID
6
years that there was no festival. Okay, so yeah, for the last time Ophelia played was 2019.
Hold on a second. We having a World Creole Music Festival, right? A person like you of your caliber, you tell me you were off for 6 years and you have no clue why?
Well, part of the problem is me.
You?
Yes, back to the copyright business there.
So you consider to be a troublemaker or something?
Well, yes, because the people who run in the festival and so on, I get into, might say, conflict with them because I say the law says you must pay your copyright fee or you can't play music. Yeah, you mustn't copy my CD and sell it without my permission. Yes?
Right.
If you do that, I sue you. Yes, I take that seriously. So the other people who don't know find they upset with me. So since they cannot really override me, then they say they don't want to have the pedophilia because they got to deal with Mark Murray, and because I know how the business goes and I can come, okay, I can come.
So what
Right?
happened now that she's on now this year? Anything change?
Yeah.
Well, apparently, a lot of people have been saying, what about Ophelia?
Yeah, for sure.
And all of that there. There's also the fact that I had a heart thing. I don't know if you know that. I had a pacemaker placed in.
Okay.
That's 10. So there is sympathy and there is empathy. In fact, last week or the week before, somebody said they thought I was dead Britney. But when they hear me on the radio and they see me moving, they realize, hey, but she's okay, man. So all of that played for me to sing. I mean, there's only one person that can stop me, the creator, you know. So they just had to, and Mark negotiated hard this time.
So how much time they giving you though on the stage?
Half an hour.
Half an hour.
But they have something like 19 people for the Saturday night.
Yeah.
To perform. Wow. So I not vexed. And you see the hard thing, I don't want to embarrass myself, although I've done full-scale shows since then, you know. I've been in Martinique, where I go again.
In La Reunion, all you in India.
Yes, yes. Since I have the scent, And then also, we had I did an hour show,
Yeah, yeah.
not only in town, the one in Portsmouth. So, I've been around. But if you want to know, you see, we have a Jazz and Creole festival.
Uh-huh.
I've never performed in it.
Who's in charge of those things yet? You never been on there?
No. It's the Dominica Festival Committee that's in charge.
So they have to do Mr. Mac again.
Yeah. Then people,
Oh,
but so it is, and I told you I'm a believer, so
right.
The asked me about the copyright business. Okay, most people don't know that, or some people know anyway. But you don't need any copyright to play music. Yeah. However, for you to do business with music, you must have copyright. And if you
right.
don't understand that, you're not going to make any money at all. None. So happens I find that out very quick in my whole journey in that thing about making music there. Gordon had a book written by and published by Billboard magazine called This Business of Music, 1978 or wherever he had it there. I borrowed it from him and I read it in one night. Wow. Okay? So I realized immediately that the music business resting on copyright. And if you don't understand and protect and defend the copyright that you have, you cannot make money. Plain and simple. Therefore, I educated myself as much as I could, and I would say in the whole Eastern Caribbean there, I'm probably the person who has the best understanding of the whole entire thing. Yes, I've been hired more than once to give seminars to the judges of the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court on copyright. Yeah. So the fact that I know it much better than anybody else, any lawyer in Dominica, creates a problem in that it's hard for me to discuss with even with a client who has a lawyer, the lawyer no less than the client. That creates a problem that some people even said, to my great shock and surprise, that they think it's me that had invented that.
Yeah, to make money for me.
which I would be glad if I had invented such a thing. but,
Yeah.
but you follow? So because I step up and I know what I know is correct, the people on the other side who have to deal with that, they they're upset and say they can't do me anything. What they then try to do is not to have Ophelia perform, but she should rightly perform. It's not more complicated than that.
And I'm sorry to say it, but because of that, I have a special love for Guadeloupe, Martinique, French Guyana, Paris, where they give me an opportunity to be me.
Yeah, but that goes in line with the question I wanted to ask you. I know you perform extensively, especially when you were younger, across the Caribbean, the French Antilles, and so forth. Which country you think, gave you the warmest,
Yeah,
greetings, feel the warmest love?
Martinique.
Martinique. Yeah.
Well, Paris was good too, but the audiences in Paris are Martinique, Guadeloupe, Cayenne,
French people?
all the French Caribbean people and their friends came,
Mm-hmm.
But Martinique is very expressive. In Guadeloupe, they come to, but they will clap in a different way. In Martinique, they screaming,
Yeah. Yes.
dancing, I remember when we had the problem with the electricity
Oh yeah.
and in
Carve.
Carbe, and and electricity, the people sit down there waiting for over there. They sit down, they say they don't care what they do or they have to fix the place because okay, they have to. And there are women who tell me the only time their men come to shows is when I am performing. Yeah, and they bring the whole family, they bring grandmother. And you see, and the shows are not shows like what we do in Dominica, finishing at 2 o'clock in the mornings. You start a show at 8 o'clock. By 10:30, 11 o'clock, so finish.
Hmm.
And then you going home.
You want that?
Yeah.
Yes, somewhere else. And you go
Yeah.
home with your money. So, it's more classy. It's more, they call me La Reine and they treat me like La Reine.
Yeah.
So I like that.
In your estimation, what is the largest crowd you performed before?
10,000.
14,000.
Yeah, 10, 14,000. In Martinique,
Martinique?
Communist Party.
14,000.
Yeah.
They were not counting this year.
Right.
Pack crowd. And
Okay.
they have the land and it was amazing. I remember I had on the biggest one I
You
had
had
on.
lost your suitcase.
Yes, I didn't have my suitcase didn't come, so I had to wear a long t-shirt with Ophelia written on it, a yellow t-shirt and black pants.
And 2 years later, we find the suitcase.
Suitcase.
2 years? Where was it?
And I'm saying, but that is my suitcase, but yes, it's your suitcase. And everything intact. Good thing I didn't have contraband.
The Samsonite suitcase, a blue Samsonite.
What do you think was the highlight of your career?
I think it started earlier when I got my maracas door.
Your what?
First, my Golden Maracas Award. It was my first award I ever got.
What was that? What's that award? Explain to us what is that award?
It is an award that was given by Paris. It was supposed to be an award for people from French-speaking countries. But for my second album, Chanson d'Amour, they changed all the rules to be able to accommodate me. Bring me to Paris. Mac was with me. Of course, Mac always with me anyway. And they gave me, when I received the award, my response was, I don't know what to say. Why? Because I'd never seen that kind of show. But I was getting that big maracas. I said, I am so happy. I don't know what to say. And that make all the headlines.
Really?
26, yeah. And
So is it did it give you some sort of trophy or something?
yes, that broke.
You broke it?
Yes, it's not
Oh
me.
my!
It broke, so I don't even have a picture of it.
I was gonna ask you, where do you keep it?
Well, I have all the others there, but I don't have it.
And it was
What happened to break?
that was you think that was your biggest award, most prestigious award?
Yes, because it gave me a sense of status that I didn't know I had. And it opened doors. I mean, from that time, I did 4 shows in Paris, and all the tickets were sold out because it's me that coming before I reach. So and that's a big door that opened.
We did
Yeah.
more shows again.
Yes, and we
We went on a tour and we go back to Paris and
did it again. And it full before I reach. And that never happened elsewhere.
And we recorded the live record.
Yes, that is in that show. I did the live record.
Okay.
Recording, and it's early, and then well, maybe because I was inexperienced, it did me like that. Like now, if I get an award, I know what to say.
Yeah, yeah.
I say thank you, but with nice words, and I recognize. But that thing there, I didn't know what to say. I tell
Yeah.
you,
You were overwhelmed. You were in shock.
So how
yes,
many albums total you have?
19.
Oh,
19?
oh, wow.
And they can all be found on YouTube?
Hey, hey, no, not all.
There's an interesting thing.
Back where I can get the album. Many of them,
You can.
I would like to have the 19 albums here on my rotation for my radio.
If you want to buy the
Yeah.
physical albums,
You're
the
selling that too?
vinyl, yeah, I can get them on Discogs.
They are the vinyl.
So you might buy, one the person buy for €10, you might want €200 for it now,
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
On Discogs.com, you can find some of them there.
Yeah.
But here's an
19.
interesting thing. The most popular song Ophelia has on the streaming platforms is a song she recorded in 1978 on the first album, a reggae song.
Oh, yeah.
I'm suffering. Yeah.
Oh, I'm on suffering. I know that song.
Yeah.
I'm on suffering. Oh. I love that song too. I love it. You see, this brings back so many of my childhood memories.
Yes, I'm on suffering.
Yes,
He has quite might say kind of underground reggae following.
yes.
In Italy, Portugal,
kind of
Brazil, all these places. Last year, year before last, we signed a deal with a fella in Australia to release it as a 45 vinyl record.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Oh, so in Dominica, what's your biggest award you've received?
This Cicero Award.
Okay. When was that?
That was in
Birthday
21.
It was in UWP time, so that would have been
I think it's
somewhere
birthday
between
21.
1995 and 2000.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what is birthday 21, but that year,
1999 then, yeah.
99.
Okay. All right. So, Kojak asked you earlier who were your influences, but I'm asking you who are you aware of? Any singers you're aware of that you influence, who have told you that you were an influence into their career?
Edith Lavelle.
Oh yeah.
All
Great
those
sing.
people there. Because they did an awards night for me. Like Tasha P, like Mikhail. I took Mikhail to Martinique. That's the first person who took her to Martinique. And they have similar things. Somebody said you can't have a lady Dominican artist who doesn't have something of Ophelia. So I have to believe them.
And interestingly enough, people following us. Michael married to Julia. There's all musician.
Manager.
Manager.
Or them married to
Kalin, yes.
We see they just following us.
Well, I think that's a good example to follow.
I think so too.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Although
That's
I
awesome.
answered too quick, maybe.
So did you write most of your own songs, or do you have a writer?
I write many songs. Mark writes, and we do other people's songs as well. Like Magnificat was Alwyn Mooney, because I was Mary in one of his plays called Folk Nativity that he wrote for me, dedicated to me. And it was for us to raise funds for the Point Michel Community Hall. So I had to sing Magnificat in that play, and afterwards we recorded it. So
Okay.
Magnificat, and what's the other one?
Gloria.
Gloria.
Lamu,
and-
Lamu.
Ah, Lamu Lamu. That's one of my favorite songs.
yeah, that came
Oh,
from
so was that a cover? Lamu Lamu. Or that was your song?
Lamu Lamu is a cover
Okay.
by Simon Girard. Yes,
Simon Girard. Okay, okay.
No,
It was-
it was not cover.
it's not a cover they call it. Oh,
No.
it's going to the original. Okay, Mark will give you the story.
We ended up with 2 recordings of it at the same time on the market. Bam. One song by Edith Lefel and the other one song by Ophelia. They hit the market 1 week after each other. Ophelia's own hit the market 1 week before the one song by Edith Lefel.
Okay.
So you're not telling him why?
Yeah, in Martinique and Guadeloupe and so on there. Yeah.
Why?
Because the Simon Girard had written the song for Ophelia to sing
Uh-huh.
and to record. But the record producer wasn't able to record 2 albums at the same time, one for Simon Girard and one for Ophelia.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't tell me that he wasn't able to do it, so I went ahead and I did an album for Ophelia, and since they had given me the song for Ophelia to sing, I recorded it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Tell me they were recording it too. So the 2 of them arrive on the market, like mine arrived this week, theirs arrive next week. And of course they're upset. I am upset. Sue me and so on. But if they had sued, we would have won for sure. No problem about that.
Yeah,
Because we had played the song live and it was recorded on TV with Simon Girard himself playing guitar with Ophelia and Ophelia. So
the
they
name of that show was Black Knight.
right. So they could have said that we recorded it without their permission, because how else would we have known about the song if they had not given it to me?
Mm-hmm.
So which artist came out better?
That's music business, you follow?
I would say it's me. But the other lady had her fans.
Okay. So while performing overseas, have you ever performed with other Dominican artists, bands, and any shows, events like Gordon, Jeff, Gramax, or anything like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. We performed with Jeff in Martinique and in Guyana, French Guyana.
Oh yeah.
In the famous prison. I don't know the
Alcatraz?
Papillon starring Steve McQueen.
Oh, okay, Steve McQueen, yeah.
Yeah, Papillon. That's about a famous prison that they had in French Guyana. French Guyana was just a big prison.
Mm-hmm.
French people would send prisoners to work down there. So
They
they
set it up as a hall now, you know.
right.
So we performed there.
Right. So the prison walls and everything are still there's a notorious, so to speak, place, but they've converted it into a kind of tourist attraction, place to put on art exhibitions and concerts and so on. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we and Jeff performed there together. Right?
Okay. Hey, Mark, I have a question for you. So, just from listening to you, not only now, but in previous programs and news, you seem to be one of the persons in Dominica who is very astute about musical rights,
Yes,
okay,
sure.
and copyrights.
Right.
Yeah, copywriting of music. So, what advice do you have for our musicians as it pertains to understanding, learning their rights as musicians, and the importance of copyright in music?
Well, the first thing I would tell them there is not even so much about copyright, but is to have a basic understanding of business. For example, there's this controversy about these 3 guys who had this song singing together.
Yes.
Well, from what I can gather, it's not a copyright problem as such,
Mm-hmm.
a business problem. For example, I never heard in all the talk people are giving up and down about this and so on there that anybody said we had agreed to do this. So they
Right.
never actually had a business meeting
Right.
to say what is it they're doing and how they're going to proceed.
Okay. Before you go any further, let me ask you. Before just clarification. When you say an agreement, does that constitute a written agreement or verbal agreement? Verbal agreement.
They had none from all that. That's why I said nobody said we had said, we
Right. But
best best to write it.
how powerful, how binding is verbal agreement in music?
Oh, many of them are quite binding. There are some agreements that must be in writing.
Okay.
That it must be in writing, especially when you transfer in copyright and give permission for copyright, etc. It
Right.
says that most of those things have to be in writing,
Mm-hmm.
but all contracts do not have to be written.
Okay.
Yeah, you can make verbal contract. Matter of fact, you can make contracts by acting in a certain way. You behave as if you give permission to do a thing, you know. But of course, the best contract is one that's written because the writing doesn't get emotional. It doesn't forget. What is written there is always written there. So you can come 10 years later and you read it. What is written there is what was written 10 years ago. Whereas if you are depending on memory, we're going to forget certain things and so on and so forth. So it's best to do these things in writing, but they don't have always to be in writing. Usually, the agreements are verbal first, and then they are written down. If you follow,
Yeah.
I'm speaking with you there. I can say, okay, we will do A, B, C, D, E, F, G. You say, yeah, okay, yeah, man, okay, I will give you so much money, yeah, okay. And after we've agreed on that, I will say, okay, I will send you a document where I put all of that in writing, you sign, and you send back a copy for me.
Mm-hmm.
But we basically agreed by talking. And then we formalize it in writing, just so that if your partner there has to say something about it and so on, he can do exactly that, what you said, what I said, what we agreed to.
Right.
Yeah. So to I was saying there, the important thing that everybody must understand who wants to get into music as a business is that you must have a basic understanding of how the copyright system functions. Just like if you are going to be a taxi driver, you don't have to be a mechanical engineer that know how to make the car. Don't even know really how to fix the car, but at least you have to know when to bring it by the mechanic.
Right.
You follow. So you have a certain minimum amount of thing you must know if you're going to participate in any kind of activity. And then part of the thing you have to know is when you should get a lawyer involved and so on. And a lawyer, and that of course means a lawyer who knows something about the business.
Right.
Yeah. So he can advise, he or she can advise you properly. Because if you don't know and he doesn't know much himself, he's more likely to lead you astray. So although you might say lawyers are essential people in the music business, any lawyer wouldn't do. You have to get a lawyer who knows something about the rules of that business.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Mm. And then you yourself should make an effort to know at least the minimum, a minimum that you ought to know.
Okay.
Mm.
Um. Um. I know. I think I saw Mikael Henderson was offering some kind of
Seminar, right?
seminars, in reference to that. Do you do that yourself? Do you offer your services like to, educate,
Yeah, yeah,
inform
yeah.
people?
I've done many.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But the thing that tends to happen here in Dominica is that the people who could benefit the
Benefit.
most are the people who don't come.
Mm-hmm.
That is to say, the person who has already started and is on his way, is making some kind of little money, make a recording and so on there. He is the person who would benefit most from a seminar like what Michael was doing or like what I do. But that is the person who thinks he knows everything there is to know about that already, therefore he doesn't come. So the persons who come are the persons who are about to begin, so to speak, and they're interested to know about it. And because it's got that's a course that can go on for like 2 years, right? But you're only doing that for a day or so. So by the time you get somebody who's just about to start, by the time you finish the course for the day, the most that he can really remember is how to spell copyright. Whereas if you had a fellow who has been doing stuff, he makes some mistakes already, etc., etc., then he can understand and that will step him up sufficiently for him to do his business better. But he will go a little bit already and he'll have made errors. And in the seminar, the errors will be pointed out to him so that next time a similar thing comes up, he knows how to act, you know?
Yeah.
So let me ask you, so you can safely say that Dominican musicians are just playing music. They're not they're not I would say performing music, playing music, because when you use the word playing, like
They play it.
you
They
don't even
play it.
play, you just come look at je no collègue yo. I mean, you pas vivre ça.
Right. So basically, most Dominican musicians kind of really make some money from playing in a concert or so, playing something on stage.
Yeah.
Okay? That
Right.
is one way to make money. That's the kind of obvious way. If you don't pay me to, I'm not playing for you. Okay? So you pay me some money for that. But there are other ways to make money. For example, the same thing about playing on stage. For example, they hire you to perform on the World Creole Music Festival. Well, if they want to broadcast your performance, they have to pay you another money.
Right.
Your contract is just for you to play on stage, not for them to broadcast your performance. So you and your manager must say, if you wish to broadcast it on the radio or whoever, whatever there, you need to pay me X amount more for that. If you want to put it on the internet, well, we add to that. If you want to record it and then make videos and put whatever, whatever, there's another fee for that. But most people in Dominica here, they're happy to hear that the mother tell them they hear them on the radio and so on. And they feel happy.
So let me ask you, Mac, if let's say somebody like write a song, is
Huh?
there like too much like you saw like I write a song, right? And I never like do copyrights. Can I do that couple years down the line?
If you can do,
Do it, let's say, like I do a song right
And we
now.
check the song after, couple years down the
oh,
line.
yeah, man. Well, here's the thing.
Uh,
Just ask me that question. There is nothing for you to do for you to get your copyright. Nothing
Yeah.
at all. Okay? All you have to do is, well, you just take a song. Make your song and you own the copyright in it right
Right
then
away.
and there.
Yeah.
You haven't got to go to no office or nowhere to get no copyright.
No,
Because the reason why I asked that is there's a gentleman I contact to come on the show, and we were reasoning, and I know that man has some real music out there, and the struggles he's going through now. I figure that kind of a music should have a pension behind it, or you should be eating well from making all that kind of a good music. So
Well,
that's I was asking if it's ever too late to.
well, here's where it comes up then. You write your song, you own the copyright in it. Well, what the copyright mean? The copyright mean you're the only person who can make copies of it or reproduce it in any way, shape, or form. Anybody who want to do that must ask your permission. One of the other things that you don't have the right to do that is to play it in public. Whether it's played live or play it from a record or however it's played in public, it's you that have to give permission.
Okay.
The part about giving permission for playing in public kind of difficult for you to do for yourself because if you, unless I living in Dominica, I wouldn't even know if a fella playing my song in Portsmouth. What just for me to know if they playing it in Japan?
Right.
Eh?
Mhm.
So people form these societies that give permission for that kind of thing on their behalf for everybody. So here in Dominica, I am the person that's responsible for giving anybody who want to play music in public, and public is any place that is not in your family circle, okay?
Right.
A license for you to play music. So the radio station have a license to broadcast music. If the bank pick up the radio station signal and play the music in the bank have to get a license for making the music audible to the audience in the bank. Okay?
Right.
You have to get that license from me. It have different rates for different things. Yes? We have contracts with people who have similar societies all over the world. So when a song like Jerusalem, just popular in Dominica, man, it's popular all over the world.
All over
When
the
it's
world.
played in Dominica, is we that given permission for it to be played in Dominica. Then we collect the money and we send it to the guy in South Africa, who is the society in South Africa. The name of it is SAMRO, right? South African Music Right Organization. And then they give it to him. So he gets his money wherever his music played in the world. That is how it's supposed to go. So if
Mhm.
when you know that and then you have the copyright in your song, if you want to collect that money which you cannot collect yourself, you will go and join a society for it to collect it for you. And
Mhm.
here is a member of the society in France. So here's the funny thing: when she play on the festival in about 2 months time there in Roseau, I collect the money. We will then send the money to France. And in France, they will send the money back to Ophelia because she's a member of the French society.
Okay.
Also,
Yes.
they get a percentage from
So,
it?
so, so that is where the music business part comes into it. Yes, you must have somebody working with you who understand the business part of the music.
And the French society is it Sasimi you're talking about?
Accept,
Correct.
yeah, sure, sure.
Okay,
The first
Sasimi.
one in the world to be formed, in fact, in 1851.
Okay.
Mm.
Mm.
Quite a few
Interesting.
Dominicans are members of that society.
Sasimi. Yeah.
And you understand why? It's because most of our work was in the French
Right, right. To
countries.
start.
Yeah.
So it was easy for them to collect for us.
Right.
After
Right.
they take out the stick out, they have to take out
Yeah.
And
your
as well as that is where most people from Dominica find out about those organizations.
copyright.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. So
Oh.
in America, it's actually the same thing, but it's different. America kind of tends to be a bit backward
Wrong side.
in that most people in America actually will register their copyright at the U.S. Copyright Office.
Mm-hmm.
Not the U.S. Copyright Office that giving you copyright. As soon as you make a song, you own the copyright in it. But when you register in the US Copyright Office, you get in some extra advantages. One of them is you entitled to get back your lawyer's expenses if you have to sue somebody.
Okay.
Okay? Normally in America, if I sue you, I pay my lawyer and you pay your lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't pay your lawyer if I win. Okay? That is how it goes. But
Right.
there's a special thing that say if you register your copyright and you win, you will get back whatever you spend on your lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, they give you something called statutory damages, which could go up to $150,000 for each infringement. Whereas in our case, we had to prove how much damage was caused and so on and so forth. So if
Okay.
you live in America, is a good thing to, in point of fact, go and register your copyright in the copyright office. But it's not but you only register in it. It's not
Mm-hmm.
that giving you copyright.
Copyright. Okay.
Because you have the copyright, you register it.
Okay, so let me get something clear. Okay, so you said once you write a song, right?
For a book or whatever.
All right, you have you own the copyright, right?
Yes.
Okay, so if I write a song, right, it's not registered anywhere, right?
What?
It's not
It's not
registered.
Oh,
registered
no,
anywhere,
that's already so no.
right? And
Right.
then so you say I have the copyright. No, if somebody by some way somehow gets a hold of that song and they claim it's their song, okay, how do we decide whose song it belongs to if there's no authority that says it belongs to me or
Right.
them?
Okay. Here is how it goes. It actually says the way the law is written actually makes provision for two people to write exactly the same song. And nobody not at fault. Because the way you would be at fault is that I must copy your song. But the fact that the two songs is exactly the same don't mean I copy yours.
Right.
So you would have to prove a couple things. One, you couldn't have copied mine if yours was existing before mine. Two, 2 days before or 2 hours before. Okay? So you'd have to bring evidence and say, well, here it is. Usually maybe somebody would come with you and so on and so on. When say, well, I um, create that song at that time. Matter of fact, there was a case in the British court where Bob Marley's bassman was suing Rita Marley and the other people there over a song. And the song actually was on his name. And he was claiming to be the author of the song. And they said, no, you are not the author of the song. Bob Marley put the song on your name, but it's Bob Marley who wrote the song.
Right.
And then the people who were saying that had witnesses. 3 o'clock roadblock of that song.
Okay.
And they say Bob Marley write that song when they were coming from some place in Jamaica, going to
Yeah.
another
When
place.
the police
The
block the
police stopped
roads.
them
Yes. Yes.
in the roadblock and so
Yeah.
on, the anti-papers and the whole other thing there. And then when they say wake up on the place, Bob Marley start to say 3 o'clock
Roadblock. Yeah.
so is there Bob Marley create the song and then he perfected it later in
Right.
the studio. So it's Bob Marley that write the song.
Mm.
So in the court evidence, the evidence was showing that people who ought to know or who Bob Marley had died already, okay, by the way. So he wasn't there. Jefferson not that is how the song came about, and indeed it's Bob Marley that write the song and not the bassman. Okay, so the same thing, you have to bring evidence.
Ashton family man Barrett, you're talking about, right?
Right.
Okay. Okay.
And he ended up with a bill of £1 million.
I was just about to ask that. Like I write a song and I give it to Ophelia to sing.
Right.
Who has the most
Your
rights?
song.
If I write a song, right, I give it to Ophelia to sing. When
Yes.
it comes to write, who has the most rights on that song?
Okay, two separate things. I write, like I rest there, you see, if you look on YouTube, you will see a video there. You put Emigration on YouTube. You will see a video of Ophelia singing that song there in a village in Guadeloupe with a green t-shirt that she turned backward because there's written St. Thomas at the front. And it wasn't appropriate to have St. Thomas. So she put it on. Well, Ophelia didn't get any money for making the video, but I wrote the song. So I got money. I can tell you where I get money from 2 TV stations in France, from that video there, from Egypt, from Belgium, cable TV, from
Oh, really?
Switzerland. I got the money because I wrote the song. The song is mine. So Ophelia is the singer of the song. So Ophelia will get paid when the recording sells.
Interesting.
And money,
There are
and we
different
will
ones.
get, we normally should get money.
Right. No, in America they don't have that, but in France, when they live in the world, they have. When the record play on the radio or anywhere they play the record, Ophelia collecting the money as the singer of the recording.
Mm.
I collect, and it's a separate organization collecting the money for Ophelia, the singer that's singing the recording on the recording. And I collect from another society for the use of the song, which is mine. So
Right.
Ophelia singing, she getting paid, and I get paid separately as the owner of the song.
Interesting. Interesting. I think I have to. I
So
have to.
that is where you have to
Whole set of rights,
kind
right?
of
Yes.
know the business, where the money is, who pays who for what, when, and so on. Otherwise, lots of money that could be yours or should be yours will they
Not reach
not be
you.
there. But
Yeah.
like in the music business, like all other business, you have to have administration and paperwork and them kind of thing there to keep everything flowing the right way. Otherwise, if you don't do the paperwork, things that you should get, you wouldn't get.
All right. So okay, we already 12 past 10. I mean, we cannot leave before we talk about the what is the now trending music, the music of Dominica that's trending across the world now, booyah music. All right, and you all have been in the music industry for a very long time, and have a wealth of knowledge and experience. Um, what do you think about the current state of booyah music? How far you think it can go, and do you think it is being Dominica is being well represented by booyah music?
Okay, well, I think there are two versions of the Puyo.
Yes.
No, one is
There
booyah,
is,
one is booyah, one is nasty business.
I want to hear both of you views on that. Both of you,
well, the thing
separately.
is,
I know you won't let me off. I know.
there are two versions of the Puyo. The one that kind of get noticed in Dominica recently. I have to say in Dominica recently because that kind of Buya was noticed in Guadeloupe long ago. Since 2010, 2011, 12, and so on. People in Dominica didn't know it because some of the artists in Dominica were popular and so on. We should be working in Guadeloupe.
Yeah.
So,
Jump up, maybe.
yeah, we're doing that kind of thing. Not, you might say not so low, but low enough over there. With the result that the youth in Guadeloupe caught on to the bouillon quite well, and they even had their own bouillon artists. But they
Yes.
had their own bouillon artists. And
Yes.
they had a group of girls that I kind of like them, the Yellow Gaza girls, right? They had a song, Bole no Mamoun, Sisaki Amod Ale, Bole no Mamoun. That's one of the popular songs. So what has happened there is that the bouillon thing catches on, and it catches on among the Guadeloupe youth in particular, not so much Martinique, but Guadeloupe youth.
Mm.
Then it gets tied up and conflated with violence. Yes? But the violence thing has in the last couple of years there diminished a bit, and it's now, you might say, considered more like normal music. With the result that in France, it it has come to the attention of you might say big music people. Yeah, so they have big television programs talking about bouillon and this and that and so on because of the dancing that goes with the bouillon, etc., etc. And more of Guadeloupean artists are the ones who are being spoken about rather than the Dominican who started the whole thing. So, which is where I'm saying the business about knowing the business. That is where we, on our side in the Puyo thing, missing out. We don't understand the business, so we're not doing the business properly. So those guys in Guadeloupe who know a little bit more about how the business side of things function, particularly in Guadeloupe, France, and so on, they're going to benefit much more than the Dominican practitioners, except the practitioners will get a concert to go and do and play a live thing and they get paid and so on. But all the rest of the money from recordings and playing on radio, TV, etc., there not many of them would be organized, and even some of them who are members of, say, SASEM or whatever, wouldn't follow up on all the administrative things that has to be done for the money to flow. For example, you could be a member of SASEM, or feel as a member of SASEM. She makes a new song, blah, blah, blah. She never send and tells SASEM, I make a new song. When that comes into SASEM on a paper, they're saying that song was performed wherever by somebody. When they will look in their database and see who that song belongs to, they will find they don't see anybody named. So money that should have come to Ophelia because her song was played, they don't know about it. Therefore, they will hold it there for 3 years. Hopefully, within the 3 year time, you will send in the information at which time they will send you the money. But if the 3 years pass and you never let them know that you have a new song called whatever it is, that's it. You lose the money. And it could be a lot of money. You never know.
Yeah. Ophelia, what are your thoughts on Bouillon in its current state?
Okay, I used to feel uncomfortable when I heard that Dominicans are singing that thing they call nasty. So I said once or twice on radio stations that I feel ashamed to be called a Dominican musician. I think my situation is, according to the young people, I'm old school, one. And two, the things I do not talk about in those kind of ways, I will not go and sing on stage in those kind of ways. Remember, I told you earlier that I remain who I am.
Yeah.
Be a teacher, and I talked with everything. My afro, my big clothes, properly covered, respectful, and well, that is how I am on stage. So if I cannot sing a song, I don't think I even want to listen to it. I am concerned about the children of the people who are writing those songs. Would they be okay with the children singing the song? If they are not, I do not think we are being well served. We may be well represented, although Dominica used to be the place where we were supposed to be the biggest prudes in the Caribbean. But now we large it. And to me, we're missing out on the level of decorum and decency, especially when we do the kind of way that we do. I am disappointed in it. I've heard people say, oh, if people don't like it, it will disappear. It ain't disappearing. And it is loudest, the loudest music you hear in the Brazil. They don't play it on the radio, but in schools, when they have tea party in the afternoons at school, they play it. And it doesn't please me. It doesn't please me, and I cannot say anything to defend it. People are free to express themselves, but they have to know that they're also responsible for who they're sending their messages to. That's all.
Yeah, I can't agree more.
But,
Go ahead, Coach Jack.
I believe that next year right now, that would be dead. There's no way they're gonna last. You see right now, this guy is young. I'm sharing this love bouillon. I think it's gonna go further than this. Because I remember when some other time you go to a dance, you hold your lady and dance. Before that song start, those girls head in the ground and they ass in the air. It's like I don't understand.
It's true.
But what else can you do now?
You cannot, you cannot dance. You can't even jump in a rhythm kind of way.
When you see the bouillon in the way I look at it is music that's made for carnival. If you follow what I mean.
Right.
In a out of carnival type of context, it kind of doesn't work. But within a carnivalesque, if you like, thing, it's pretty okay. And the reason, and here's the thing, the reason it can keep going at that tempo there all the time is because of the drum machine. Okay? Because drum machine doesn't get tired. Because if you had a drummer and the drummer alone had to play for 3-4 hours at that speed, would fall long dead. So that's where the whole technology affecting how music is played and so on. Because you put the drum machine to play, as long as you have electricity to play till kingdom come at the same tempo without missing a beat. You know? Yeah, so with the result that in point of fact, you might say, and I to do a lot of that, the musicians who play the bouillon, specialize in bouillon as, might say, musicians, they're not very skilled as musicians, but they're skilled enough to get up a rhythm and get you excited, and that's all they need, and that's what they probably want. They don't want where they can play minor chords with augmented this and that and so on. They're not particularly interested in that. They're interested in eating up the place.
All right. Okay, so we're almost to the end of the program. I want to know your future plans, Ophelia. You still look good. You still sound very strong. And what can we expect from you going forward?
Okay, I think Mark sent the booking Abbey, right?
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if did I send you a song?
Booking Abbey, right?
Oh, the reggae, right? The new reggae track?
A reggae song?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that
Yeah.
latest song Ophelia has recorded, yeah.
Now,
Yes.
although I didn't start off as a reggae artist, I have always sung reggae. You know, on every
Nearly every album.
album there's a reggae. So I made a little more of
So,
that.
so can we expect a love bouillon soon then? A love bouillon, you know?
I'm not
Love
sure.
bouillon, not that. I know you're not that thinking about that love bouillon like someone else, you know?
Would I be able to call it something else? If I can call it, I can, because association. You. Although they say a bouillon is a kind of rap,
Yes.
but I have a fellow musician who says bouillon is hogwash. God, pig. You understand? So if I can call it another name, because soca,
Kubuyo, you can call it
a
kubuyo.
kubuyon, okay, maybe
A
a kubuyon.
kubuyo.
Maybe a kubuyon. So I could do a kubuyon.
But let me ask you, you say you have 19 albums, right? On any of your albums, you collaborate with any other artists?
We have any voices? Yes, we did a collab once with some young people. Baby, baby. Boom, 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 boom. And then Gordon Henderson and I have collaborated. We have a song, Sontambula, where it's Gordon's song, but he gave me the pleasure of singing too. Sontambula, I do that on stage. People like it. So I have done some, not maybe as much as I should, my word.
Yeah.
But I'm not averse to doing that. So Kojak, you can write a song.
Okay, my next question to you is, I saw Chubby and Rich did a collab. What happens if one of the young guys come to you and want to do a remix of one of your songs? What would you be okay with
The
that?
bridge man,
Huh?
the bridge man, you
No,
mean?
not
Or
Rich, but any of the Bouillon artists. You see, Rich and Chubby did a remix.
yes, I know. In
Yeah, but I'm
fact,
saying,
we have
if one
been,
of these young guys would come to you and want to do one of your songs, one of your old songs, if a Bouillon thing, you would be up to that?
yeah, but I have to listen to it.
No, it's your song, one of your
You
songs.
have to approve of the final product,
I have
right?
to approve it. You can't take a song and say they sample in it and put all kind of words in it. They do
No,
that.
long Bouillon, clean. I talk about clean thing, clean thing.
It's the other way.
Oh, you could sample it without permission to get a serious lawsuit.
Yes, because you can put people's song and put it and say it's yours. That is.
Yeah.
But I don't mind. I wouldn't mind. I'm open.
All
I
right.
will listen because maybe I think I'm placed anyhow to do things different. Because you see, when people say they feel my soul and they feel mellow and they want to cry, when I'm well, give me a bouillon that can do that.
No, no. My final question before I either give you all the last word, and I ask that to every person, personality, who, in my opinion, have contributed tremendously to our music and to our culture, like you. As I to Condell also, do you even understand the impact that your work, your music, your influence have had on people, on your listeners, on your supporters, on your fans? Because it is, outside looking in, it is easy to say, man, this lady is awesome, and but you as the person who is the provider of that, and you're so busy in, preparing it and working and writing, and do you understand the depth of your impact that you've had on people across the world who listen to your music?
I cannot say that I do. People surprise me every time, up to now, when they say certain things about my music, sometimes about a line. I cannot say that I know the impact that I've had. I know a lot of things happen because of my music or on my music. Flora Moru, who is a dancer from Dominican Republic.
That's my schoolmate who went to Community High School together.
Serious?
Yes, man, a bad dancer, man.
Yes. Oh, she's a formidable dancer. I think she's
Yes.
my favorite dancer. He quiet, but I know he quite likes her work. But she tells me when she has her little children, it's my music that used to make them sleep. She used to play it after she used to say a little prayer over them, and the children used to sleep. There's a couple I know that was on the brink of breaking up. And when I sang O Lamuwe, that means O Lover, they came back on that song. Now that song, okay, it cries, it says, why do you have to go? Come back so we can manage, we can make the thing work again. And these people came back because they heard me sing that song. And they know that's what I was going to get. And they invited us out and all of that afterwards because I sang that song. And there are things I don't know. There are people who tell you my sister Claudette doesn't like to be there when I'm singing. Her whole skin shivers.
Yes. Well, I can tell you there are many of your songs that when I hear it, it takes me to a particular place on a time. Like that song you say, I'm Suffering.
Yeah.
I remember as a little boy, maybe I was like 3 or 4 years old, and that song was playing at a time when a close family member had died. And every time I hear that song, that's what I remember. It takes me back to that place. So music is a very powerful tool, and some people have a way in the delivery, in their voice, in their emotion, that really touches you and it touches your conscience that you never ever ever forget it. And you are one of those persons, you know. And I'm telling you, you know, you are have been a treasure to so many of us, me, Dominicans, and all people across the world, you know. And we very much love and appreciate you for what you've done, what you've given to the world, you know, and of course to your husband for supporting you along the way. And we are so blessed and honored to have you on our program.
Well, I have to say that I really am delighted. This is a different interview. Kojak was coming behind me. A good thing there was a break. And I
I, you, I have a two-part question, right? One for
I
you.
thought he finished. I thought he finished.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Go ahead, go ahead.
No, my question is,
Yes,
do you think you lasted that long because of Mac?
yes, definitely.
All right. Mr.
Def-
Mac, I have a question for you. 'Cause I know you're very knowledgeable because I listened to that podcast. Um, People like Olive Ophelia, Chubby, you know, like may his soul rest in peace, Fitzroy, Gordon. How could we go about, like, where would we start to get like places named after those heroes of ours? Because I think we still have places in Roseau that name after our oppressors. When we have legends like these people still alive, look at Chubby at this age group. But tell me, somewhere should be named. At least let him cut the ribbon before he go. Let's don't wait until someone when they pass to go and cry crocodile tears because they're gone. Where would we have to start for that to happen?
Maybe we have to start on Vibe. Mark, that's for you.
That's what you know, man.
It's you. He wants to know where can we start? Where to get our names on streets and buildings and so on.
Oh, well, if you come in and join me in a demonstration, we can organize that.
Yeah, I would be glad to be behind that, man, because I said, too, you know, we have so many heroes, bro. And as I said, there's still places in Roseau named after the Queen and England, and they never did nothing for us.
Yeah.
Right, right.
And that's a very strong point you make, because there is an Ophelia Drive in Point Michel. It's a
Okay.
street that they call Ophelia Drive.
It was named after you?
Yes.
How did that go about? How did you get that to go?
These are the people, yes, the village council that decided that there's another street that they call Royalty Street, because
Okay.
they have a princess and a Miss Dominica who came from that street. So they're feeling it at Point Michel.
Oh, so it could start from the village council.
Yes,
So
they
like if Granby want to do a thing for Chubby, that's a start in Granby.
can do that. I think Chubby and Co have a billboard, Wadix did it, if I remember.
In Granby?
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't you ever see that in Granby?
It's I think it's like a mural they painted on a wall.
Okay, I
yeah,
thought it was
yeah.
a billboard. Okay,
Yeah.
the mural is even better because
Yeah.
if it's stone or whatever is behind it, it's more permanent.
Yeah.
So it's beginning, but we slow. Or maybe we want somebody else to do it too. Because so many good ideas come to Dominica, but we want to hear somebody else do it first.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to fix that, eh? I really do not know how to fix that. And because but I am cool with what I get and what I do get. But it's my spirit, it's my vibe that is like that. But it would be nice for somebody to call a street after Harry Potter.
Yes, man.
That man is a poet. They could take a street in Zikak in Portsmouth and put Gordon's name on it and let people know who Gordon is.
Yeah.
He did. I mean, How comes now he's so popular? What's in him? Tell the young people about him so that they can follow his footsteps and become a bigger Gordon. You know, we need to find a way to inspire people with people who look like them, with their stories, with their experiences, because we have good experiences and we have bad ones that we rise from. You know, the resilience we're talking about has to do with the fact that I 3D shape, but I can stand up again and move again. I can tell you that I was dead 5 times already. What idea?
So where you think Cadas is to the Cadas? You think Cadas is gonna die someday?
I don't think so. I
No.
don't think so because now you have YouTube, you have Facebook, you have a wider way of preserving those things and making them available to other people. If people are
I talk about
researching,
new Cadas, you know. Ain't nobody making nothing new no more.
oh, you know, you did mention that to me once when we were chatting. Um, there is Kadas around, you know. There's a guy called Lobster.
Yeah, there's Lobster from Grand Bay, and there's White Fairy.
Yes, White
White
Ferry.
Fairy, yeah, from the east. Yeah, these guys are very good, very young and
Yeah.
very good.
There's a compartment, ecstasy.
For
Yeah,
ecstasy,
But
ecstasy. Yeah.
that's delightful. And you know the cadasses in a lot of places about which we do not know. Julie Murillo, Gordon Henderson, new examples, not new examples, but the other name we have.
Gossip.
Gus Anthony Gusty. These people are still working.
Yeah.
Gordon is still working. And those songs are
Linford John, look at.
right, Linford John. And that kind of music is in places other than Dominica and the other places we know about. Look at how the world is getting small. Trump maybe has some cadence, you know.
but you know what I think I would have saved that Cadas. You see that competition there to have the NCCU? I think if that had continued, that would have do justice to the Cadas.
That would have helped. But I think not enough musicians were behind that. Or not enough people who understand the value of the contribution that music is making in their life. We didn't have enough of those people around. Because NCCU has a budget, they can put some money on the side and help even one musician or one set of musicians at a time and give them the take off so that they can move ahead. And we also need to understand our rights and how to ascertain that we um, get paid for the use of our music. And we need to be encouraged to develop our art, to sharpen it, to make it more palatable. That's a big word, but I know all of you understand.
Yeah.
For the children, you know, the children. We keep saying we want to do things for young people and what have you and what have you. And people like me maybe should get into a collab or two with younger artists or to take people along. It's just that I get in the head, no, man. You know, but it is there. All of it is there. They can do the research. They don't even have to read. They can just press their button and the song will come up and you know, do something and create. Be creative. Don't just chop 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 chop. No, put something else in it so that it goes because it's
Well,
our
you don't got musicians no more. Is as I say, is the laptop and you get a little you get a software and you do a thing pop
yeah,
and you have a song. Once
yes,
upon a time, as Max say, an entire band had to be in a studio.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Anyway,
yeah.
it's
But
it's
we mustn't give up. We still have to encourage the creators to continue creating.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah, and record. Don't wait to hear somebody steal your song for you to make a noise. Claim what is yours and register it,
Hmm.
record it. So
Good
that
advice.
yes, that is, and when you change your name, because people do that, they change their name. Like I would, instead of Ophelia, I will call myself Rachel. I will write the song, but I won't tell Sassem Rachel is new too.
Right, right.
You tell them they won't know what to do with with the money that's coming out.
Yeah.
And it's not only all about money, but you have to save that. And I am learning that it's kind of late, but you have to save that for the future, for your legacy,
Like Bob Marley, right?
yeah. But Bob Marley died so
But
young.
now you have 19 albums. You ever think of making a best of Ophelia?
That has happened with
You have that?
yes in
Okay.
Guadeloupe they did it.
Oh God, look. So I can find that on YouTube too?
Now they have a best of on
A best
YouTube.
one?
Best of. Okay,
What?
there.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Yeah,
There is
man.
a name for it. The one that this fella from Guadeloupe did.
What you talking about? A video or?
No,
No.
I know they don't make CDs no more, like a best of
I'm
Ophelia.
working for them.
We have a few. We are ready.
Okay.
Back when you have to see to it that project gets
Yeah, man. That need to be on my rotation.
it.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yo.
All right. Kojak, you have any more questions before we wrap up?
We have gone into overtime. Well, you see, that's the longest our show ever go because of the magnitude we have in front of us. We have two legends there, so we apologize for the overtime. We do apologize.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, let me thank the fans and listeners first for spending the last 2 hours and 42 minutes with us. Thank you very, very much. They've been very enlightened, informed, entertained, and they're very happy to see you, Ophelia. Everybody say you look very well and wishing you well. And of course, we have many people coming home for Real Music Festival this year, and they will all be looking forward to your performance.
Okay.
And I'm sure, as you never disappoint us. You're gonna give us a fantastic show with your great voice and your great presentation. So we look forward to that. And we want to thank you profusely for spending your time with us tonight and gracing us with your beautiful, your grace and your experience and your knowledge. And we are very, very thankful. We are honored on Vibes In. And I hope this is not the last time that we get to talk to you. And Mr. Mac Murray, of course, thank you very much. I'm learning, from you because I'm also in the music industry, brand new. So the knowledge you impart, as far as the, your rights and publishing stuff, I'm learning from that. So thank you very much for that. So I'll pass over to you so you could say your final words before we leave.
Okay, well, let me be the first to say the last words. I want to say really that I appreciated this. And as I said earlier, it was different. For one thing, I thought Kojak was going to be the main question. Yeah. But
No, my job is to get the connection.
Yes.
Kojak is the antagonist, if you know this.
I like that. I like that. So it was flipped for me, but that's nice to me too. And I thank you and tell the little person who visited us.
Yeah, that's my granddaughter, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That I love her a lot, and I sincerely hope that some of that music will rub off on her.
Well, her mother sings. Her mother's a singer. She sings bouillon, clean bouillon, positive lyrics. Her name is Shasha. She's on YouTube. You can check her out.
Fantastic. Shasha. How she spells that? S-H-A?
SHA.
Okay. I shall be doing that and leave you after I get something to eat because you'll get me way fast.
I'll have Kodak send it to you because he has your number, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll send you the links to her songs.
Oh, that's great.
So you could give us some advice, as she continues to grow in her career.
Okay.
Would appreciate that.
And maybe one day we'll check you for a collab too.
Why not?
Okay.
Why not?
Sasha and Ophelia, that'd be a nice ringtone.
Yeah.
Once it is words I can sing.
No, yeah, man, she have good stuff, man.
Okay.
Positive lyrics.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's one of them that's gonna change the bouillon business. I
Nice.
predict I speak that in her. We call her the princess of bouillon, and she's gonna make a difference. Trust me. With the kind of materials her father's writing, the bouillon is gonna be in a better place soon.
Great, great. That's
Remember,
what
I said that tonight, and I say that with no apology too.
I do here. And you can probably say it better than that.
Okay, well, just to say
The
that
Google
it
Home
was
isn't set up yet.
great.
To get started, download the Google Home app on a phone or tablet.
But you have that on. You know, you have smart houses sometimes.
Yeah.
That Google Home thing that just answered me that I didn't talk to it.
Mhm.
Oh, after I said hello, okay. No, I said okay. Right. Okay, Google. I didn't say
It's
that.
going to say.
I turned it off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just to say that it was great finally meeting you guys to have a chat with you. And I trust you'll keep playing some more songs, especially Ophelia's new song. You know,
Yes.
a style I think most people are unaware that Ophelia has been doing from a very first record. Yeah, and well, this is not the last record, but the events that are happening around the world in Africa in particular,
Yeah.
thought we should say something about it. We tried our standard, style. But finally, we figured reggae was the best style to put forward that message.
Hmm.
I think it's a nice reggae song that the public, your listening audience, will find interesting. Yeah, and they can find it on all the streaming platforms. Yeah.
Yeah. We definitely will be pushing it on VTGM radio. Absolutely. We'll give it a lot of airplay. Because,
Okay.
yeah.
And
Right.
trust me, you'll be hearing it on Kyrie too, because don't forget I'm gonna be on Kyrie every Saturday from 6 to 8. So you don't know what time it is.
Every Saturday, you said? Did you say every Saturday, Kojak?
Yes, every Saturday, 6 to 8.
6 to 8, okay.
PM. PM.
Right.
PM, not AM,
Yes,
PM.
we get that, yes.
Yes. So,
Thanks.
again, thank you very much. God bless you. We love you. And keep up the good work.
Yes.
Okay.
Same to you.
Bless you too. And
All right.
All right.
you keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
then.
you.
All
You
right.
are a big surprise. You,
All right.
Kojak, thanks.
You're welcome every time, yeah.
And you prepared me very well for this.
All right.
All right.